Hollywood has always loved a controversial romance, from actors dating women young enough to be their daughters to relationships that sparked endless debates about power dynamics and maturity. These are some of the Hollywood age gap couples that made fans seriously uncomfortable. Let's get into it. First up, Leonardo DiCaprio and Camila Morrone. I think that's how you say her name. At this point, Leonardo DiCaprio's dating history has practically become its own internet meme. When Leo was 44 years old, he was dating actress and model Camila Morrone, who was only 22. That's a 22-year age gap, and fans immediately had opinions. I mean, lots of them. The criticism got so intense that Camila actually had to publicly address it and tell people that anyone should be able to date who they want to date, which is fair, but you know, the internet wasn't having it. People became obsessed with tracking Leo's relationships and noticed a pattern here. Many of his girlfriends seemed to be like under 25. When Leo and Camila eventually broke up shortly after she turned 25, the memes exploded all over social media. I mean, whether fair or not, the relationship became one of the most talked about age gap romances in modern Hollywood. Next up is Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Sam Taylor-Johnson. This couple still sparks debates to this day. Aaron was just 18 years old when he met director Sam Taylor-Johnson on the set of the film Nowhere Boy. Sam was 42. That's a 24-year age gap, and that immediately raised eyebrows. Critics questioned the power dynamic because she was the director and he was the young actor starring in the movie. Now, the couple got engaged quickly and married in 2012 and are still together more than a decade later. Aaron has repeatedly defended the relationship and called the public obsession with their age difference just bizarre. But even after all these years, many fans still debate whether the relationship would have received the same reaction if the genders were reversed. Next up is Dane Cook and Kelsey Taylor. Now, comedian Dane Cook managed to shock the internet without even telling a joke. When people discovered that Dane was dating singer Kelsey Taylor, there was immediate backlash because of their age difference. Dane was in his 40s when the relationship became public, while Kelsey was still a teenager. Yeah, rough. The couple has a 26 to 27-year age gap, depending on the year being discussed, and online criticism was, you know, relentless, obviously. Dane has openly joked about the age difference in interviews and stand-up specials, but that hasn't stopped people from questioning their relationship. The controversy followed them all the way to their engagement and eventual marriage. Next up is Dennis Quaid and Laura Savoy. Now, Dennis Quaid found himself back in the headlines when he started dating Laura. The reason? A nearly 40-year age gap. Quaid was in his mid-60s while Laura was a PhD student in her 20s when they met. The internet immediately had opinions, and many people questioned how two people from completely different generations could even relate to each other, right? Dennis has repeatedly defended the relationship, saying age simply wasn't something that came up between them and that their connection felt, I don't know, natural. The couple married in 2020 and remain together today, but their romance is still frequently mentioned whenever people discuss celebrity age gap relationships. And lastly, we have Al Pacino and Noor Alfallah. Hopefully I'm saying that right. If you thought the others were surprising, wait until you hear this one. So Hollywood legend Al Pacino welcomed a child in 2023 with Noor. The age gap? More than 50 years, yeah. Pacino was 83 years old while Noor was in her late 20s. The news immediately dominated headlines and social media. People were genuinely stunned and shocked. Some fans joked that Al Pacino's birth certificate belonged in a museum, while others questioned how a relationship with such an enormous generational gap could even function. To be fair, both, appeared completely unbothered by the criticism, but online reactions ranged from disbelief to absolute confusion. Even in a town famous for unconventional relationships, this one, had people doing like a double take. And honestly, if somebody told you 20 years ago that Al Pacino would be changing diapers in his 80s, would you have believed them?
And do you know what you want? An older woman.
Clearly.
Starting off, we have Jay-Z and Beyonce. Now, they met when Beyonce was 18, sometime between 1999 and the year 2000, and they started dating around 2001, and they have a 12-year age gap. And twins Rumi and Sir in June 2017. But their relationship hasn't always been perfect. In May 2014, footage of Jay-Z, Beyonce, and her sister Solange in an elevator after the annual Met Gala showed Solange attacking Jay-Z following some sort of argument. Now, no one from the family has ever confirmed what the issue was, but tabloids reported it was over cheating rumors. Then, when Beyonce released her album Lemonade in 2016, she practically confirmed the cheating rumors, including lyrics like "death to side chicks" and the infamous "he only wants me me when I'm not there, he better call Becky with the good hair. Now, in 2017, Jay-Z admitted to cheating on Beyoncé and said that they worked through it. Then there's Leonardo DiCaprio. Leo is known for mostly dating girls under 25 years old. Now, it honestly became a joke all over the internet. Camila Monroe dated Leo from 2017 to 2022, and she was 23 years younger than the actor. Then, just 2 months after her 25th birthday, the relationship ended in August 2022. Then Leo also dated the Brazilian model Gisele Bündchen off and on between the year 2000 to 2005, and they even appeared together on the red carpet at the 2005 Oscars. The same year though, they called it quits. At this point, Leo was 30 and Gisele was, you guessed it, 25. Currently though, he's dating Victoria Soretti, and they started their romance in the middle of 2023, and the interesting thing is, Victoria is actually 26 years old, and they're still together. Their age gap though is 23 years. Chris Evans, the 42-year-old Marvel star, recently got married to his 26-year-old girlfriend, Alba Batista, in Cape Cod. However, the couple's age gap has sparked controversy and criticism on social media. Now, many people have taken to Twitter to express their disapproval of the relationship, with some calling it creepy as it is a 16-year-old age gap. That 16-year age gap would have been on every single headline if it wasn't Chris Evans. I said what I said, one person wrote on Twitter. Thought it was his daughter, exclaimed another. Chris Evans has said that he wanted a family for years, then gets a girlfriend who's 16 years younger and still of age to start a family as opposed to him. The wedding seems rushed and she's new in the industry and just starting up her career. This feels extremely icky to me. And yeah, I gotta agree there. Now, Chris has spoken about wanting to settle down for a while now, and their relationship and marriage just felt rushed. Now, they started dating 2 years ago in 2022, but a source close to Chris said he kept saying he knew she was the one, adding that he's been the happiest since they met, and that Alba is everything to him. Sam Taylor-Johnson and Aaron Taylor-Johnson first met when Aaron auditioned for her film Nowhere Boy. Aaron got the role of a young John Lennon, and he was 18 years old at the time. Sam, then 42 years old, directed the film, and later that year Sam announced that she was separating from her husband, Jay Jopling, after 11 years, and she started dating Sam. Now, a year after dating, Sam and Aaron announced their engagement at the premiere of their film. Now, it's just gross because there's a 23-year age gap. She could be his mother, and she met him when he was barely an adult. Now, many people think he's been taken advantage of and that he's a victim. Now, there have also been many jokes online of people begging for Aaron to be freed, which I got to agree with. Speaking of the age gap, Aaron reportedly told Men's Health in a 2014 interview, "She's such a young, beautiful soul that you wouldn't even know." In 2017, Sam came out and publicly responded to the ongoing questions about their relationship's age gap. People like to talk about it. I'm like, yeah, but it works better than my last marriage. It's lasted longer than a lot of my friends' marriage, she told The Hollywood Reporter. Now, Aaron also defended their relationship, as in 2019 he told the UK newspaper The Telegraph, "When I met Sam, I'd already lived a life far beyond that of most of my contemporaries. I didn't relate to anyone my age. I just feel that we're on the same wavelength." Everyone on the internet, though, is rooting for them to break up, as they think Aaron deserves better and that he wasn't protected properly. Now, earlier this year, Aaron was seen not wearing his wedding ring, and people thought that the couple broke up, but on September 25th, Aaron denied divorce rumors with his wife as he posted photos online of the both of them on vacation. Madonna also has a new boyfriend, and their age gap is honestly crazy. She is 66 years old, while her boyfriend Akeem Morris is 28. That's a 38-year age gap. Now, Madonna and Akeem previously worked together when she was Paper Magazine's cover star in August 2022, and it seems like their relationship blossomed from there. Akeem was spotted spending the 4th of July with Madonna this year, as videos shared to TikTok showed the pair having fun on a balcony while the singer herself shared photos from the night on her Instagram. Happy 4th of July, a year ago today, I had just come home from the hospital after surviving a life-threatening illness. I could barely stand in my backyard holding one sparkler. I made a miraculous recovery and had an amazing year. Thank you God, life is beautiful, she captioned her post, which showed her and Akeem watching fireworks. Then Akeem was seen with Madonna while she was celebrating her 66th birthday in Italy. And finally, we have Alec Baldwin and Hilaria Baldwin. Now, they first met for the first time in February of 2011 when Hilaria was working as a yoga instructor. Now, the couple moved quickly into a stable relationship, as Hilaria told Beach Magazine in a 2013 interview. 5 months into our relationship, we got an apartment together, then we started talking about getting married, then he proposed, then we got married, now we have a kid, she explained. So it all went quite fast. Now, the couple has a 26-year age gap, and currently they have 7 children together. It was announced earlier this year that the family is getting their own reality show called The Baldwins. The series is billed as a way to give fans a glimpse into the couple's ups and downs while they raise their 7 children, the eldest of whom is only 10 years old. They posted the announcement on Instagram with Alex saying, "We're inviting you into our home to experience the ups and downs, the good, the bad, the wild, and the crazy." In the teaser, as family videos rolled, home is the place we love to be most. Now, the 50-second sneak peek concludes with the parents and their 7 kids on the sofa shouting, "We're the Baldwins" for the cameras, and we're coming to TLC. Alec then joked as his kids jumped around on and off camera, "God help you all," he added with a smile. The show is set to premiere in 2025 on TLC and will follow the couple as they open up their lives for the first time and bring everyone in to join the non-stop love, laughter, and drama, per a press release. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see how that plays out.
Demi Lovato exposes her 12-year age gap relationship with ex Wilmer Valderrama. Demi Lovato is looking back at one of the most talked about relationships of her early career, and let's just say the hindsight is loud. The pop star recently opened up about her past romance with actor Wilmer Valderrama. You might remember it from that 70s show, and the internet is buzzing again because of one very uncomfortable detail: the age gap. Now, Demi was 18 when they started dating in 2010, and Wilmer was 30. Yeah, so do that math again slowly. Demi Lovato is now 33, and looking back at that relationship through adult eyes, she basically said what a lot of people were already thinking: it wasn't okay. Now, during a candid conversation on Keke Palmer's podcast, Demi joked, but also dropped a pretty brutal reality check. While talking about, dating older men as teens, she casually asked, "Why was my boyfriend 30?" And honestly, that question alone pretty much says everything. Now, to be fair, Demi didn't actually say Wilmer's name out loud in that moment, but I mean, come on, the timeline only fits one person, right? The two met when Demi was about 17, officially started dating when she turned 18. They stayed together on and off for about 6 years before breaking up in 2016. And here's the thing that really changed her perspective: turning 30 herself. Demi basically explained that once she hit that same age, Wilmer was basically when they started dating, that it kind of hit her differently. Suddenly, that dynamic didn't look romantic anymore, it looked questionable. Like, imagine being 30 and hanging out with someone who just finished high school. Yeah, exactly. Now, fans have actually been connecting those dots for years, especially after Demi released her song 29, which many people believe was inspired by that relationship. The lyrics talk about realizing later in life that a much older partner may have taken advantage of a power imbalance, and the song went viral because so many people related to that exact experience. Now, what's interesting though is that despite this new perspective, Demi hasn't framed the entire relationship as pure villain origin story. The two reportedly stayed on good terms after their breakup, and Wilmer even publicly supported her during some of the hardest moments in her life, including her 2018 OD. But still, the age gap conversation isn't going anywhere, because when you say I was 18 and he was 30, the internet doesn't just kind of nod politely and move on. It starts pulling out calculators, timelines, and a little thing called common sense. And honestly, Demi speaking on it now hits differently because she's not that Disney era teenager anymore. She's a grown woman looking back at her own story with a lot more clarity. I mean, sometimes the things that felt normal when you were young start looking looking very different when you grow up and realize, well, wait a minute, you know? So the real takeaway here, because you knew one was coming, it isn't just celebrity gossip, it's perspective, right? Because when Demi asked, you know, why was my boyfriend 30, the answer isn't something the internet is going to stop debating anytime soon.
In at number 10, Adam Levine and Behati Prinsloo. Adam Levine and Behati Prinsloo were both known for their own separate careers before they even got together. Levine hit the big time when Maroon 5 blew up in the early 2000s, and Prinsloo has been an incredibly successful runway and Victoria's Secret model since 2006. The pair met through a mutual friend when Adam was looking for a woman to be in his music video that could do some action stuff. From there, Adam emailed Behati, but she just ended up not being able to do the video. That being said, they did begin to really connect with one another through this email correspondence. They finally met in person a year later, and Behati said that it was love at first sight. Oh, how sweet. However, around 2013, the couple had split up for a little while before realizing that it was a terrible decision. After that, they got back together, got engaged, and then got married, and the age gap between this celebrity couple is 9 years, with Adam being born in 1979 and Behati being born in 1988. And I hope I got your name right, Behati, if you're watching. Although Behati is kind of a nice name, even if that's not the right pronunciation. Who's she? She's a Behati. I don't know. In at number 9, Nikki Reed and Ian Somerhalder. Despite years of being plagued with rumors in the tabloids, Nikki and Ian actually have a really great relationship. It was one that moved quickly as the two actors fell in love, got engaged, and then married all within a year of dating. They first sparked rumors of a budding romance when the pair were spotted going for runs together and getting close at an LA farmer's market, although no one could confirm as to whether or not they were actually dating. The age gap between this celebrity couple is 10 years, with Ian being born in 1978 and Nikki being born in 1988. In at number 8, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. This is perhaps one of my favorite celebrity couples on this list. They both share a hilarious dry sense of humor and are now the proud parents to 3 daughters. The timeline of this celebrity couple began in 2010 when they were cast as the leads in the movie Green Lantern. However, at the time, Ryan was married to Scarlett Johansson and Blake was dating someone else. By 2012 though, and with both of them going through a breakup and divorce, the couple were spotted taking trips together in New Orleans, as well as visiting Ryan's family in Canada and Blake's family in New York. The age gap between this celebrity couple is 11 years, with Ryan being born in 1976 and Blake being born in 1987. In at number 7, Michael Fassbender and Alicia Vikander. A lot of celebrity couples are very high profile, while others do their very best to remain under the radar of public scrutiny. Alicia and Michael have frequently been co-stars, but the amount of time that the couple have been together is still a bit of a mystery. Reportedly, the celebrity couple began dating in late 2014 and then got married on October 14, 2017. Alicia was 26 at the time, while Fassbender was 37. At the time though, Vikander was just breaking out for her role in Testament of Youth and was about to embark on a whirlwind in 2015. Fassbender, meanwhile, had been acting for a steady 15 years, including high-profile turns in franchises like the X-Men. The age gap between this celebrity couple is 11 years, with Michael being born in 1977 and Alicia being born in 1988. In at number 6, Jay-Z and Beyonce. Jay-Z and Beyonce may be one of the most famous celebrity couples on this list, but that being said, they do an excellent job of trying to keep the relationship very private. Typically, the only insights that we get into this couple is through their music, which awesome marketing tool as well, and we expected no less from this power couple. Although the internet is torn on the exact date that they met, the general consensus is that they were introduced to each other somewhere between 1999 and 2000, when Beyonce was only 18 years old. Jay-Z would later admit during an interview that the two began dating sometime in 2001 when they appeared together on a Vanity Fair shoot. By April of 2008, the famous couple tied the knot in a super secret ceremony. When speaking about the wedding, Beyonce said, "There was no rush, no one expected me to run off and get married. I really don't believe that you will love the same thing when you're 20 as you do at 30, so that was my rule. Before the age of 25, I would never get married. I feel like you have to get to know yourself, know what you want, spend some time by yourself, and be proud of who you are before you can share that with someone else." For this celebrity couple, their age gap is 12 years, with Jay-Z being born in 1969 and Beyonce being born in 1981. In at number 5, William H. Macy and Felicity Huffman. This celebrity couple is one that has certainly withstood the test of time when it comes to famous people getting together. They have been married for more than 20 years after dating one another for 15 years on and off. In the wake of Felicity's legal troubles involving the college admission scandals, the actress was sentenced to 14 days in prison on September 13th for her involvement. An insider close to the couple said that Felicity and Bill are a real unit though, and Bill is actually holding the family together as Felicity completes her sentence. The pair initially met in the 1980s at the Atlantic Theater Company in New York City and proceeded to go on to date each other. Over the course of several years, William proposed many times, but Felicity rejected him because she was so scared of marriage and even thought that she would have preferred to step in front of a bus than get married. Regardless, the pair are very happy together, and the age gap between between them is 12 years as well, with Bill being born in 1950 and Felicity being born in 1962. In at number 4, Viola Davis and Julius Tennant. When Viola Davis came to Los Angeles to pursue a career in acting, she had a very tough start and overall felt extremely lonely. During an interview, she said that she thought that she was the loneliest woman in the world. When she told this to a friend, her friend jokingly replied that she should just pray for a husband. At her wit's end with this lonely feeling, she did just that. In an interview with Page 6, Viola said, "I wanted a big black man from the South who looked like a football player, who already had children, who maybe had been married before. 3.5 weeks later, I met my husband." Julius ended up overhearing Viola saying that she really didn't like LA because she just didn't know anyone, so he came over and gave her his card. The pair ended up falling in love and getting married in 2003 and then adopted a daughter together in October of 2011. The gap between this celebrity couple is 12 years as well, with Julius being born in 1953 and Viola being born in 1965. In at number 3, Stephen Moyer and Anna Paquin. This celebrity couple with a huge age gap met on the set of the famous vampire series True Blood. During her guest appearance on Live with Kelly and Rain, Anna Paquin confessed that it wasn't love at first sight for her. The star added that she and Stephen got along very well, but they didn't plan to let things get any bigger than that. Nevertheless, they couldn't resist the chemistry between them. After they got engaged on a beach in Hawaii, the couple tied the knot in a 2010 Malibu ceremony attended by big stars like Elijah Wood and Carrie Preston. Today they are parents to twins Poppy and Charlie, and the relationship has never been stronger. The age gap between this celebrity couple is 13 years, with Stephen being born in 1969 and Anna being born in 1982. In at number 2, Camila Alves and Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey and Camila Alves are one of the Hollywood's sweetest couples, and they've been married for 8 years and together for 14 years. Matt and Camila met at a bar in West Hollywood when he saw Alves walking by in an aqua green dress. Yes, you remember the dress. But that just made him drop whatever he was doing and go, "Who is that? Who is that?" Although when he tried to strike up a conversation with the Brazilian-born model, he spoke in Spanish because he didn't know any Portuguese, which might have come off as cute, who knows. Matthew ended up proposing to her on Christmas Day in 2011, and on June 9, 2012, the celebrity couple got married in Austin, Texas. Guests at the wedding included Woody Harrelson, Reese Witherspoon, and filmmaker Richard Linklater. That would have been a cool table to sit at. Camila saw this wedding as just another extension of their life together though. She said during an interview, "We've been living a married life for over 6 years now. We have homes together, we have a family together, we have kids, we've built a life together, so we've been living a married life this whole time." The age gap between this celebrity couple is also 13 years, with Matthew being born in 1969 and Camila being born in 1982. Last but certainly not least, our number 1 spot, Matt Bomer and Simon Halls. Matt Bomer secretly married publicist Simon Halls in 2011, a year before the actor actually came out publicly. Matt is known for keeping his life very private, but in 2012 when he accepted a humanitarian award, he acknowledged his sexuality when he mentioned that he had adopted 3 children with Simon. In the speech he said, "I'd really especially like to thank my beautiful family, Simon, Kit, Walker, and Henry. Thank you for teaching me what unconditional love is. You will always be my proudest accomplishment." The age gap between this celebrity couple is 13 years as well, with Simon being born in 1964 and Matt being born in 1977.
At number 10, we have Billie Eilish and Jesse Rutherford. Billie Eilish has definitely been having a good laugh about the age difference between her and her rumored new boyfriend, Jesse Rutherford. Despite the pair being friends for years, the two have reportedly been dating in recent weeks, and neither have made comments to confirm their relationship, leaving the world guessing what's truly going on. While some people have been disgusted about the fact that the two have an 11-year age difference, many fans have come to support Billie, and they are finally happy that she seems happy with her new beau. While Billie and Jesse have decided to send a message about their age gap to critics by wearing a Halloween costume dressed as a baby and an old man, it definitely was met with some controversy, as it didn't sit well with many. One fan would even say, "Billie is grown enough to know how weird and creepy this is, BTW." However, both seem really happy spending time together, so just let the two be happy and leave it at that. At number 9, we have Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble. Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble have been dating for the last 8 years, despite the pair having a 25-year age gap. Corey is 42, which makes him the same age as Kris's second eldest daughter, Kim Kardashian. With Kris being 67, the pair started dating back in 2014, despite minor breakup rumors starting in 2017. It was later rumored that the couple was engaged when Kris appeared on the Late Night Show in August of 2018, supporting a massive ring. However, Kris opted to eat a cricket instead of confirming or denying the engagement to Corey. However, despite any rumors since the two have been together, they have seemed pretty loved up, as they have appeared on red carpets gushing over each other. Corey has been a major rock for Kris in her life, and he's been such an amazing support system for her. Not only does he have love for Kris, but he also loves her kids, and they love him. So that's all that matters. Hey my little peaches, are you enjoying this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. At number 8, we have Beyonce and Jay-Z. Beyonce and Jay-Z first started dating back in 2001 before tying the knot on April 4th, 2000. 2008. Despite being 12 years apart, the two would go on to start a beautiful family that constantly goes on to break the internet every time Beyonce announces she is pregnant. When the two first got together, Beyonce was 26 and Jay-Z was 38. Since the two have gotten together, they've collaborated on hits such as Bonnie and Clyde, Crazy in Love, That's How You Like It, Deja Vu, and Upgrade You. Despite cheating on Beyonce, the two have gone on to work on their marriage, and they have shown everyone that age is just a number and that any family can be fixed as long as you believe in love and you work out your problems. However, Beyonce's album Lemonade definitely left us all shook when she called out Jay-Z in the most iconic way. At number 7, we have Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds first met and became good friends when they were filming Green Lantern. Jump to a year later, the pair would officially start dating in 2011, and then they would be married by 2012 despite being 11 years apart. Since the couple has been married, they have been making us all wish we could all find love like them, as their marriage seems like it came straight out of a Disney fairy tale. The couple has 3 daughters, and fun fact, did you know their youngest daughter is named Betty based on the lyrics of a Taylor Swift song, who actually happens to be close friends to the couple. Either way, Blake and Ryan have taught us it's okay to date someone older or younger as long as you're happy, and that's all that truly matters. At number 6, Nick Jonas and Priyanka. Nick Jonas and Priyanka have shattered stereotypes related to age gaps when they initially started dating and later got married. Despite the duo being 10 years apart, neither of the two have been bothered by it. Both Nick and Priyanka have shattered stereotypes by embracing their age gap wholeheartedly. Priyanka definitely likes to tease Nick about the age gap, however, she knows it has led to the success within their marriage. Nick has shown her how to use TikTok, and she's taught him about what a successful acting career actually looks like. Priyanka has also gone on to say, "I'm from India, a country rich in culture, in music, in entertainment, so clearly the Jonas Brothers didn't make it over there. However, we seriously can't get over how cute it is to see these two support each other and grow their family." At number 5, Nikki Reed and Ian Somerhalder. Nikki Reed and Ian Somerhalder didn't waste any time before taking the next step in their relationship despite having a 10-year age gap. Just 6 months after they started dating, the two would get engaged in January 2015 and would get married in April of 2015. While both had no idea if they were doing it right, they definitely both woke up every day to choose each other. Over the years, the two have done a lot. They've laughed a lot, they've continued to cheer each other on, and they've shown us what a true support system looks like. Since getting together, this couple has continued to show us their love for each other every chance they get. Their endless smiles, family, and reflection have shown age is just a number and it isn't going to stop them from loving each other. And number 4, Aaron Taylor Johnson and Sam Taylor Johnson. Actor Aaron Taylor Johnson and director Sam Taylor Johnson have been together for more than a decade. However, despite having a 23-year age gap, it's never stopped the pair from speaking about their long-lasting romance in various interviews. No one knows the exact age they both were when they first met. However, publications have claimed that he was 19 and she was 42 years old when he auditioned for her. Aaron has even told Harper Bazaar that he still remembers how Sam looked at that first audition when he said, "I knew exactly what she was wearing. This white shirt that she still has that I love. It definitely changed my life, though not in the way I expected." The couple has also never been scared to talk about their age gap, as Aaron has also spoken about it when speaking to Telegraph UK in 2015, when he said, "When I met Sam, I'd already lived a life far beyond most of my contemporaries. I didn't relate to anyone my age. I just feel we're on the same wavelength." At number 3, we have Amber Tamblyn and David Cross. David Cross and his wife Amber Tamblyn have been married since 2012, but the comedian has admitted that he was hesitant to get with the actress at first due to their 19-year age gap. David has even admitted that during the couple's first on-stage appearance at the 2012 comedy show in New York, that he was really unsure if it was okay to even make the first move. He would even then tell HuffPost that "I was slow to make any moves because of our age difference, and also because she was a fan." Amber immediately responded by joking by saying, "If anyone's wondering, I'm 14. At number 2, we have Katharine McPhee and David Foster. Grammy winner David Foster knows there's been plenty of chatter when it comes to his 35-year age gap between him and his wife, Katharine McPhee. However, both have gone on to pay no mind to it. David even went to tell people that "People always make reference with Kat and I with the age difference, but I've always said there's so many things that can bring a marriage down. And Age difference is just one of them. There's so many things that can go wrong. We think we have it pretty together. Now, fans were definitely super shocked to see Catherine and David when they first got together, despite some major backlash and criticism the two have faced since getting together due to their massive age gap. The couple has remained classy and has taken it all in stride. At number 1, we have Rosie Huntington and Jason Statham. Rosie Huntington and Jason Statham are definitely in it for the long haul, as the couple has been together for more than a decade despite their 20-year age difference. While some people have raised their eyebrows since the two got together, both don't seem to be bothered by the age gap, as Rosie has even said, age is nothing but a number. Rosie and Jason have been best mates since they first met. They laugh, and Jason has created a relationship that she's never experienced in prior relationships. Since 2010, the pair have often showcased their relationship in the public eye and have been proving that they are made for each other, even if there is a 20-year age gap between them. Both seem to be really good for each other and happy.
In at number 10, Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra. With a 10-year age gap between Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra, a source close to the couple says that the age difference is not a big deal to them whatsoever. The couple was first spotted together in 2017, which was a year before they reportedly began dating. Apparently, Nick loves dating older women, and if anything, Priyanka has said that he acts much older than he is. She once joked during an interview that she calls him Old Man Jonas. The couple largely kept their relationship quiet because they knew how judgmental the public would be about it. Even when Nick had joined the 18th season of The Voice as a new coach, he was teased about his age by fellow singer Kelly Clarkson. I guess she told him that she was a decade older than him, and Jonas just replied with, "My wife is 37, so it's cool." In at number 9, Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness. Hugh and Deborah have a 13-year age gap between them, but the couple have been together for more than 20 years. Jackman met the love of his life long before he ever made it big as a movie star. He was a brand new actor at the time who became smitten by Deborah, who was already an Australian movie star. When speaking about how they met, Hugh said that it was during his first job out of drama school, which was a massive break for him, so naturally he was really scared. While speaking with People magazine, the actor said, "Deb, she was a big star. I got picked up and Deb is in the front seat of the car. I'll never forget. She took off her seatbelt and she turned around and put out her hand and took off her sunglasses and said, 'Hi, I'm Deborah Lee Furness. Nice to meet you.' I remember thinking, I like this girl." And according to Hugh, he actually tried to avoid speaking to her because he had a big crush on her. Although after inviting her over for a dinner party, the two really began to hit it off. The duo tried to keep the relationship a secret, which lasted for about 3 weeks before they realized everybody knew the entire time. Everybody on the set of the film, that is. In at number 8, Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. Although you could never tell based on Ellen's youthful appearance and dance moves, the comedian and talk show host is 62 years old, while her wife Portia is only 47. Despite the 15-year age gap, the couple have been together since 2004 and tied the knot in 2008 after the same-sex marriage ban was lifted in California. Recently, there have been lots of rumors swirling that the couple has split up, but Portia believes that these divorce rumors just means that they are now viewed as a regular famous couple. When she saw these tabloids speculating that they had divorced, she was happy because it meant that the public's perception had finally changed on same-sex marriages. Now they got these same criticisms that straight couples get in Hollywood as well. In at number 7, Hilary Burton and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. One Tree Hill actress Hilary Burton and The Walking Dead villain Dean Morgan have been dating since 2009. Dean has referred to Burton as his wife, but no announcement of an official marriage was ever made. The couple have a 16-year age gap between them and ended up being introduced to each other at an Irish pub in Los Angeles by her former co-star. Hilary was reflecting on that night while speaking with People magazine and said that she was never a girl that anyone really pursued, adding that she's always been an alpha, but when she met Jeffrey, he was exuding confidence as he said to her, "You're gonna be my girlfriend." It's a good thing that she found this statement intoxicating instead of off-putting. Although the couple kept their relationship secret for so long that Burton gave birth to their son, Augustus, before the couple even went public with their romance. In at number 6, Heidi Klum and Tom Cowlitz. In 2018, model Heidi Klum began dating Tokyo Hotel guitarist Tom Cowlitz, and although this new relationship turned some heads because Heidi is 45 and Tom is only 29, so with 17 years between the couple, it was often a big question that would come up during interviews. While speaking with InStyle magazine, Klum spoke about what it's like to date a man 17 years her junior. Heidi said, "My boyfriend is many years younger than me, and lots of people are questioning that and asking about it. That's really the only time when age seems to get shoved in my face, and I have to give an answer for it. I don't really think about it that much otherwise." The rumors surrounding the couple dating came after they were spotted kissing on set while Heidi was filming America's Got Talent. They would then make their first public appearance as a couple in May of 2018 at the Cannes Gala. Then on December 24th, 2018, Heidi posted a photo on Twitter announcing that Tom had proposed to her. In at number 5, Amber Tamblyn and David Cross. David Cross and wife Amber Tamblyn have been married since 2012, but the comedian has admitted to Insider.com that he hesitated to get involved with the actress at first due to their 19-year age age difference. When they first shared a comedy stage together in 2012 at a show in New York City, David wanted to make a move but wasn't sure if he should. Rightfully so, he was taking into account the huge age gap as well as the fact that Amber was a fan of his. In at number 4, Rosie and Jason Statham. Actor Jason Statham and model Rosie Huntington-Whiteley began dating in 2010. Apparently, the couple met while Rosie was on set of Transformers because Jason was primed to take over Shia LaBeouf's spot in the series. Although after they began dating, they largely kept their relationship on the DL because of that 20-year age gap between them. However, the pair did go public with their romance at that year's Coachella Festival in California. After just 6 months of dating, the celebrity couple decided to move in together and began flaunting the relationship without a care to the world. The couple got engaged in 2016 and welcomed their first child, Jack Oscar, in June of 2017. In at number 3, Sam and Aaron Taylor Johnson. Avengers Age of Ultron actor Aaron Johnson met director Sam Taylor Wood when he starred in her movie called Nowhere Boy. He was 18 years old at the time and Sam was 42. With a 24-year age gap between them, the couple ignored their critics and were engaged months after meeting in 2009 and actually got married in 2012. Then they changed their last name to Taylor Johnson and had 2 daughters together. When they met on the set of Nowhere Boy, Aaron had been preparing for that role for like 6 weeks and worked extra hard because he knew it could potentially change his life. I mean, it was a huge movie opportunity, although little did he know that his life was about to change in a whole other way as well. Aaron told Bizarre Magazine during an interview that as soon as they finished filming, he told Sam that he was going to marry her, even though they had never even kissed before or even been on a date for that matter. Sure enough, a year to the minute after they met, he got down on one knee and popped the question. In at number 2, Dane Cook and Kelsey Taylor. Their relationship was a big shock to a lot of people just because of how young Kelsey looks and how old Dane Cook looks now. I even recall him saying on a podcast that he once said to her, "Where have you been all my life?" before realizing that she wasn't even born until 1998. In 1998, Dane Cook was 26 years old and beginning to blow up in the world of stand-up comedy. The couple began dating in 2017, and an insider told Us Weekly that Dane is approaching this relationship with a more serious approach, adding, "This is definitely the most serious relationship he has had so far. He doesn't talk to any other women anymore, and before her, he used to have lots of one-night stands." We don't need a secret insider though to tell us that Dane is serious about this relationship. He is constantly gushing over Kelsey on Instagram and always trying to show off her musical talent, so we get it. You happy. Last but certainly not least, on our number 1 spot, Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor. Hollywood actresses Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor have been together for 5 years now, and the pair went from quietly dating to working to normalize age gap relationships. The couple first met in 2005 at a party which would be a decade before they began dating. Sarah told the New York Times in 2016 that she was instantly blown away by Taylor's beauty when they met for the first time, adding that she was probably the most exquisitely beautiful woman she'd ever seen. While promoting an upcoming film on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, Sarah told Andy and Billy Eichner how her and Holland's relationship began.
For it, and we sort of breezed by one another and then started following each other on Twitter, and then
Wow.
So Holland Taylor slid into your DMs?
she actually did.
Wow.
With a 31-year age gap between this celebrity couple, it's no wonder that they've taken the reins of normalizing huge age gaps.
In at number 10, Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra. If I'm gonna be honest with you, when this couple was first announced, I was pretty sure this was some sort of publicity stunt. I don't think I was the only one, but a lot of people thought so. I just thought it was a very strange coupling, you know what I mean? However, the two are still going strong and are now married. The pair first announced their relationship when Nick was 26 and Priyanka was 36. In an interview with Jimmy Kimmel, Chopra said that she and Jonas were both wearing Ralph Lauren to the Met Gala, so they ended up going together and obviously spending a lot of time together. After only 2 months of dating, the pair announced their engagement in July of 2018. The pair then had wedding ceremonies in the United States and India, where Chopra is from. Regarding their age gap, a source close to the couple said, quote, "The age difference is not a big deal to them whatsoever," adding that Nick, quote, "loves dating older women, and if anything it makes Priyanka even more attractive to him." This is because Nick is apparently an old soul.
And I got down on one knee and said, "Where have you been all my life?"
He actually did.
And at number 9, Jay-Z and Beyonce. This power couple has been together for what feels like forever. I almost forgot that they had a considerable age gap. The couple got together in 2001 when Jay was 32 and Beyonce was only 20. They got married years later in 2008 and gave birth to their first child, Blue Ivy, in 2012. The pair has dealt with marital issues related to Jay-Z's cheating and even spoke about his infidelity on his recent album, 444. The couple was able to work out their issues and they welcomed twins Rumi and Sir in 2017. And at number 8, Viola Davis and Julius Tenen.
Viola Davis and Julius Tenen got married in 2003, and they've remained a strong couple ever since. The pair has a 12-year age gap between them. Viola is 55 years old, while Julius is 67. The couple also adopted a child together in 2011. When speaking about how the pair met, Viola said that she was going through a time of intense loneliness, which led her to start praying for a man in her life. Less than 3 weeks later, her prayers were answered, and she met Julius on set while filming an episode of City of Angels. In at number 7, Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness. This happy couple has been together for more than 20 years, meeting on set in 1995. The two hit it off almost instantly and got married a year later in 1996, which actually happens to be my birth year. I mean, that's beside the point, but I just had to point that out. The couple have a 13-year age gap. Jackman is 52, while Lee Furness is 65. They've adopted 2 kids together. Jackman told People that even though his wife is technically older, it really doesn't feel like it, saying, quote, "I'm literally the adult in the relationship. She's just like a little kid. I'm the one saying, babe, that's not a legal parking spot." And I just love her even more for that.
I knew pretty soon in, but it was also my first job. Deb was a leading lady, and I was fully aware this was a cliche, and I was probably being ridiculous.
My New Year's resolution was I'm not dating any actors, and definitely none under 30. Meet my husband.
And at number 6, Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. Ellen and Portia first started dating in 2004 and have been inseparable ever since. Only a year later, the couple had moved in together. The pair has a 15-year age gap. Ellen is currently 63, while Portia is 48. When talking about the relationship, Ellen said, quote, "It's the first time that I've known in every cell of my being that I'm with somebody for the rest of my life." The pair got married in 2008, shortly after gay marriage was legalized. Halfway at number 5, George Clooney and Amal Clooney. George and Amal are probably one of my all-time favorite couples, especially because Amal was able to make an honest man out of him and take him out of his bachelor phase. In 2014, the pair announced their engagement to the shock of many. At the time, Clooney was 52 and Amal was 35. The pair have a 17-year age gap between them. The couple officially tied the knot in September of 2014, just a year after they met, with a beautiful Venetian wedding. The pair now have 2 kids together, twins Ella and Alexander. When speaking about their age gap, Clooney said, quote, "Well, I liked her, but I didn't want to jump the shark on it. I couldn't tell if she liked me because I'm 17 years older than her, so she might have thought I was her grandpa." Yeah, I don't think there's anyone on earth who would consider George Clooney a grandpa, like, come on. And at number 4, Leonardo DiCaprio and Camila Morrone. So if you watched the most recent Golden Globes, you saw Ricky Gervais savagely call out Leo for exclusively dating girls that are way too young for him. It's such a hot topic that someone actually made a graph calling out the fact that the ages of the girls that he dates stayed the same over the years, while he just keeps getting older. He is currently dating actress Camila Morrone, who is 24, while Leo is 46, a 23-year age gap. Recently, Camila spoke about their age gap after she noticed Leo being heavily criticized online, saying, quote, "There's so many relationships in Hollywood and in the history of the world where people have large age gaps. I just think anyone should be able to date who they want to date." The couple was first linked together in January of 2018 during a trip to Aspen, Colorado. The pair are pretty private about the relationship and really don't share much with the public. And at number 3, Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor. This gap is definitely the biggest on this list so far, with 32 years in between them. In 2015, rumors started to swirl that American Horror Story's Sarah Paulson was dating Holland Taylor. Paulson later confirmed their relationship in an interview with the New York Times in 2016, stating, quote, "What I can say absolutely is that I am in love, and that person happens to be Holland Taylor." Paulson is 46 and Taylor is 78. The two first got together in 2015, but they had met 14 years earlier at a dinner party. At that time, Paulson was with her ex. However, she says that she remembered thinking Taylor was, quote, "probably the most exquisitely beautiful woman she'd ever seen." And at number 2, Alec Baldwin and Hilaria Baldwin. Alec and Hilaria have 26 years between them, but that hasn't changed much about their relationship. They first met in 2011 in New York when Hilaria was working as a yoga instructor. Their relationship moved quickly from there. Hilaria told Beach Magazine in 2013, quote, "5 months into our relationship, we got an apartment together. Then we started talking about getting married. Then he proposed. Then we got married. Now we have a kid." The couple has been together for 10 years and now have 6 children together. Hilaria is 37 and Alec is 62. And finally, number 1, Alexis Roderick and Billy Joel. Billy Joel recently married his 4th wife, Alexis Roderick, his biggest age gap relationship to date. At the time of the wedding, Joel was 66 and Roderick was 33. The couple welcomed daughter Della Rose in 2015 and a second daughter, Remy Ann, in 2017. Initially, the couple kept their relationship very quiet and made no mention of it on social media. However, a month later, it was confirmed that Joel had fallen for Alexis. She revealed that the two had been friends for years before getting together. When speaking about the relationship to Parade magazine in 2018, Joel said that in his other relationships, he was mostly concerned with working, and he was away from the house house most of the time. But this time he's working less and he wants to concentrate more of his time on being a family man and spend time with his kid. And at number 10, Bob Saget and Kelly Rizzo. The Full House star got married to his bride in 2018. The pair have a 33-year age gap between them. Apparently Saget proposed during an episode of Stranger Things. While watching the show, he decided to get up and grab the ring he had been hiding for 4 days. Rizzo answered the question of how the couple met on TikTok. Apparently it all started when Saget DM'd her on Instagram. Apparently Saget even contacted someone that knew her beforehand to get a better read on her. After that friend spoke highly of her, Saget decided to ask her on a date. Now the rest is history and they've been together ever since. And at number 9, Chris Pratt and Katherine Schwarzenegger. When this couple first got together, no one was really even talking about their age gap because everyone was more concerned with the drama around them. Firstly was that Pratt was going to be marrying Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter and that Pratt was going to be getting married after her shocking divorce from Anna Faris. At the time they married, Katherine was 31 and Pratt was 41. The couple got married in 2019 and welcomed their first child, daughter named Lila, in August of 2020. And Katherine might have actually manifested the relationship happening beforehand in 2018, because in an interview she was asked which Pratt was her favorite and she replied, quote, Chris Pratt. He's been looking so good lately. Or maybe he just saw that and decided to hit her up. Who knows? And at number 8, William H. Macy and Felicity Huffman. This couple's even more interesting to me because I just started rewatching Desperate Housewives again and I forgot how amazing that show is. It's literally one of my all-time favorite shows. Lynette is also my favorite housewife on that show if you're wondering. William and Felicity dated on and off for 15 years before they finally decided to get married in 1997. The pair have a 12-year age gap between them. The couple's been together ever since and now have 2 daughters together. The family was also the subject of controversy when it was revealed that Felicity Huffman paid someone to take the SATs for one of her daughters, and she ended up serving 14 days in jail for her role in that scandal. And at number 7, Daryl Hannah and Neil Young. This union was revealed accidentally while Young was discussing voting at a conference and referred to Hannah as his wife. The couple started dating in 2014 and decided to get married 4 years later in 2018. There is a 15-year age gap between them. Young is 75 and Hannah is 60. Apparently the couple had 2 separate ceremonies to celebrate their union. One was on Neil Young's yacht and another was just in California. And at number 6, Heidi Klum and Tom Cowlitz. This pair started dating in 2018 and Klum is 16 years his senior. Klum has spoken about the age gap and told InStyle, quote, my boyfriend is many years younger than me and lots of people are questioning that and asking about it. That's really the only time when age seems to be shoved in my face and I have to give an answer for it. I don't really think much about it otherwise. The couple got married in 2019 in a small legal ceremony, then had the full-blown wedding in August of 2019. And Heidi has revealed that there's no doubt that Tom is the one for her, telling people, quote, he is the kindest, sweetest, most caring, loving person. I feel so lucky. I don't know the last time I was this happy in my life. He is absolutely wonderful. Maybe it's because he is German and we understand each other in a different way, but so far so good. He's also apparently a phenomenal stepdad to her 4 children. Halfway number 5, Eddie Murphy and Paige Butcher. Eddie and Paige met in 2012 and started dating shortly after. The pair first met on the set of Big Mama's House 2 because Murphy was on set visiting his good friend Martin Lawrence. While there he had an interaction with Paige and the two kept in touch. The pair have an 18-year age gap between them. The pair got engaged in 2018 and now have 2 children together, son Max and daughter Izzy. Murphy somewhat poked fun at the age gap when he shared that he had welcomed a grandchild around the same time as his second child with Butcher, saying in an interview, quote, I have my first grandchild, so I think she's 5 months, a 5-year-old grandchild, and a 10-month-old son. Guess that makes me a heck of a fella. My son is my granddaughter's uncle. And at number 4, Sam and Aaron Taylor Johnson. These two met on the set of the movie Nowhere Boy. Sam was the director of the movie while Aaron was starring in it. Aaron was only 18 when the pair first met on the set of the film, while Sam was 41. The couple has a 23-year age gap between them. In a 2019 interview with Harper's Bazaar, the couple said that they were professional on the set of the 2009 movie, adding, quote, but everyone on set knew. As soon as we finished, he told me he was going to marry me. We had never even been on a date or even kissed. Aaron then said that exactly a year after they met, exactly to the minute, he proposed. They got married in 2012 and changed their last name to Taylor Johnson. The couple now has 2 children together, daughters Wilda Ray and Romy Hero. And at number 3, Rosie Huntington Whiteley and Jason Statham. This couple has 20 years between them, but they hardly ever notice. The couple first started dating in 2010, got engaged in 2016, and welcomed their first first child, Jack Oscar, in June of 2017. There's a rumor that the couple met on the set of the Transformers movie in 2010, however that's actually not the case. Rosie confirmed on our Instagram that the pair actually met at a party in London in 2009, adding that it was quote instant chemistry. The couple went public when they later went together to Coachella. After nearly 6 months of dating, they moved in together and started being seen out in public more. When asked about their age gap, Rosie said, quote, "It's never been an issue. Age is nothing but a number. The couple is now engaged and has been so for years, but are in no rush to get married." And at number 2, Dane Cook and Kelsey Taylor. This couple is a 26-year age difference. Dane Cook is 49 and his girlfriend Kelsey is 22. The couple is very public on social media and even participated in an online Q&A to answer their fans' burning questions. When one fan asked, quote, "What advice do you have to those in age gap relationships?" Cook replied, quote, "The only thing you have to do is plan that your deaths will be somewhat far apart." He also answered the question of how the couple met. Apparently Kelsey attended a party Cook had at his house and they developed a friendship afterwards, which later turned into a relationship. In February 2018, Dane actually commented on the relationship on an episode of Jimmy Kimmel. After he mentioned the pair's 26-year age gap, he noticed an audible reaction from the crowd. And then he said, quote, "Thank you for the snickers of approval." I'm sure that wasn't judgment at all. Definitely no judgment there. And finally, number 1, Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble. Following her split from her ex, Caitlyn Jenner, Kris moved on to Corey Gamble. This couple is a 25-year age gap. Kris is 65 and Corey is 40. The couple have been dating since roughly 2014, and he's been featured on their reality show Keeping Up on multiple occasions. Thankfully, Corey gets along with the family quite well. However, he's actually the exact same age as Kim. Not sure if that gets awkward at times. Corey and Kris met in August of 2014 at fashion designer Riccardo Tisci's 40th birthday party in Ibiza. The party was thrown by Kanye West, which makes everything just a little more fitting. If you're wondering what Corey does for work, he's a talent manager, and People magazine reported that he was working as Justin Bieber's tour manager when he first met Kris. Justin and Corey are close, and Corey often refers to him as his nephew. And at number 10, Matt Bomer and Simon Halls. Matt Bomer rose to fame on the hit show White Collar in 2009. When he originally came into the limelight, he didn't open up about his sexuality. He later came out during a 2012 acceptance speech when he thanked his family. At that point, Bomer and Halls were already married. The couple opened up about their marriage later, admitting that they got privately married in 2011. The wedding was small and only included family and friends. The pair has a 13-year age gap, and when they got together, Bomer was 34 and Halls was 47. The couple, who are known to be very private, have welcomed 3 kids together via surrogacy: Kit Halls in 2005 and twin brothers Walker and Henry, born in 2009. And at number 9, Alicia Vikander and Michael Fassbender. Alicia and Michael started dating back in 2014 after meeting on the set of The Lights Between Oceans. The couple has 12 years between them. Alicia is 32 and Michael is 44. At first, the couple kept their relationship low-key and didn't tell anyone on the set. However, their wedding was exposed after the couple returned from their private wedding ceremony in Ibiza in 2014, 3 years after they started dating. When speaking about the secretive nature of their relationship, the couple said, quote, "I think we've made a clear statement that we keep certain things just between us. It was very easy to unite, but that's quite personal." Adding, quote, "I'm not going to talk about my private life with a total stranger unless I feel like I need to." And at number 8, Princess Charlene and Prince Albert. The royal couple met at a swimming competition in Monte Carlo in 2000. At the time, Princess Charlene was 22 and Prince Albert was 42. The pair dated for 10 years before deciding to tie the knot and getting engaged, then married in 2011. The couple is celebrating their 10-year wedding anniversary this month, but unfortunately they will not be celebrating it together. Princess Charlene contracted an illness while in South Africa and has been instructed not to travel. She told the press, quote, "This year will be the first time that I am not with my husband on our anniversary in July, which is difficult, and it saddens me. However, Albert and I had no choice but to follow the medical team's instructions, even though it's extremely difficult." And at number 7, Harrison Ford and Calista Flockhart. This couple first met at the 2002 Golden Globe Awards and have been together ever since. At the time the couple met, Ford was 60 and Lockhart was 38. There's a 22-year age gap between them. After meeting, the pair dated for 7.5 years before Ford asked her to marry him in 2009. They got married later that year. The couple have now been married for over 10 years and adopted a son named Liam together. And at number 6, Hillary Burton and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. This couple started dating in 2009 after they were set up by Morgan's Supernatural co-star Jensen Ackles. It's actually a miracle that the couple was able to meet in the first place. Burton planned on living in Paris after her departure from One Tree Hill, but after she got cast on Supernatural, she stayed in town and met Morgan. In her memoir, The Rural Diaries, Burton revealed that their relationship moved quickly. They moved in together and were pregnant with their son, Gus, within a few months of meeting. Everyone was taken aback that they were moving so fast, but Burton told People, quote, "When he came along, he was so sure of himself. I was not a girl anyone pursued. I've always been alpha." And Jeffrey was like, "You're gonna be my girlfriend." The couple has a 16-year age gap between them, and they now have 2 children together. Halfway number 5, Elliot Spencer and Stephen Fry. This couple met in 2014 after they were introduced by friends, and they say that laughter brought them together. Talking at the BAFTAs, Elliot Spencer insisted that he couldn't be happier with Stephen despite their 30-year age gap, saying, quote, "I don't care what people think. Stephen is the love of my life, the light of my life." The pair got married in 2014 and have been together ever since, adding, quote, "Humor is the key to everything. We laugh all the time. Humor is the binding thing in our life. I think that's what brought us together." In at number 4, Rod Stewart and Penny Lancaster. This couple has had a lot of bumps in the road during their time together, and their 27-year age gap has not been the issue. The pair got married in 2007, and it was Stewart's 3rd marriage. Recently, Lancaster appeared on the television program Loose Women, and she spoke about her marital issues in the beginning of their relationship. Early in the marriage, Penny found out that Stewart was having an affair. When speaking about that time, she said, quote, "There was a lot of pitfalls and bumps in the road, and how much can I handle of this?" But the couple was able to see it through. The couple has now been married for 14 years. In at number 3, Anna Paquin and Stephen Moyer. Anna Paquin and Stephen Moyer met on the set of True Blood back in 2008. At first, Paquin didn't feel a spark between them, but Moyer did. He told Andy Cohen on Watch What Happens Live, quote, "By day 3 or 4, oh, this is gonna sound so syrupy, but I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. It was within seconds, really, and it just became a thing." Soon, Paquin revealed that she felt the same way, and they started dating. The pair made sure to keep their relationship secret for the sake of the show, but word got out quickly. The pair got engaged while in Hawaii and got married in 2010. The pair are now raising twins together and co-producing Amazon Prime series Black together as well. In at number 2, Rupert Murdoch and Jerry Hall. This couple has a 25-year age gap between them. Murdoch is 90 years old, while Hall is 64. Hall was previously with Mick Jagger, and they share 4 children together. Murdoch has multiple previous marriages along with 6 children. The couple got married in 2016 and have been together since. The pair met only a few months before they actually decided to get married as well. It's believed that the couple met through Rupert's sister while they were both in Australia. And finally at number 1, Amber Tamblyn and David Cross. This couple has been married since 2012 and have a 19-year age gap between them. Their age gap was a potential issue in the beginning of their relationship. Cross admitted that he had feelings for Amber since the beginning and was thinking of asking her out after they did a comedy show together. But he admits he was hesitant because of the age gap, saying, quote, "I was slow to make any moves because of our age difference, and also because she was a fan." The pair got engaged in 2011 and got married the following year. They welcomed a child together in 2017. And at number 10, Scott Disick and Amelia Hamlin. Following his breakup from Sophia Richie, Scott Disick has a new girlfriend who is even younger than his last one. The 37-year-old Keeping Up with the Kardashians star revealed a few months ago that he was officially dating 19-year-old Amelia Hamlin, daughter of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Lisa Rinna. A source said about their relationship, quote, "He's been telling friends how much she means to him and how into her that he is." And when asked about the 18-year age gap, apparently the couple doesn't feel the age difference. The source added, quote, "She grew up in the industry and knows how all this works. It's a different type of maturity, and they don't really feel the age difference." And I'm happy for them, but I do think it's odd that he dated 2 people when they were 19 years old back to back. And at number 9, Woody Allen and Soon Yi. So this couple does not only have a large age gap, they also have a very controversial start. Woody Allen started seeing Mia Farrow in 1980, and Farrow had 14 children, including adopted daughter Soon Yi, who would later marry Allen. In 1992, after 12 years of being together, Farrow found nude photos of Soon Yi, who was 21 at the time, in Allen's house. When confronted by Farrow, Allen, then 57, said that he had slept with Soon Yi for the first time 2 weeks before. In August of 1992, Allen released a statement that he was in love with Soon Yi, and then later in 1997 they got married and have been together since. So there's a lot of weirdness with this one, not just the 35-year age gap. And at number 8, Hugh Hefner. The Playboy mogul was known for his relationships with young women that were decades younger than him. He famously dated 3 women at the same time during the show Girls Next Door, when he dated Holly Madison, Kendra Wilkinson, and Bridget Marquardt at the same time. Hefner married a total of 3 times, and a crazy fact was that his first divorce happened 27 years years before his third wife was even born. In 2012, Hefner married his last wife, Crystal Harris. She was 26 at the time, which was 60 years younger than the 86-year-old Hefner. And when they were together, Crystal was decades younger than Hefner's children with his first wife, as many of Hef's kids were in their 60s, while Crystal was in her 30s. And at number 7, Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones. Back in 1996, during the Duval Film Festival, friends introduced Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas to one another, and after that coincidental meeting, the two would later marry in 2000. The pair has a large age gap of 25 years. Even crazier though is that they actually share the same birthday of September 25th. Douglas is 76, while Zeta-Jones is 51, and the pair are still going strong after 20 years of marriage. Douglas and Zeta-Jones have 2 children together. Dylan was born 3 months after the two married in 2000, and another followed 3 years later. So even though the gap is large for this pair, they are very much in love. And at number 6, David Foster and Katharine McPhee. David Foster first met his wife Katharine McPhee during season 5 of the show American Idol, where he was a mentor. According to Harper's Bazaar, the two did not confirm their relationship until their engagement in 2018, which was not long after his divorce from model Yolanda Hadid. So this is another one with a really big age gap of 34 years, with David being 71 and Katharine being 37. Something that probably adds a layer of awkwardness onto this one though is the fact that Katharine is actually older than a few of David's daughters with his first wife. Foster said about their age difference, quote, "Look, we have haters on social media and there's not a person around that's not going to make some comment about the age difference. But there are so many things that can bring a marriage down, and one of them is age difference, but that's our only problem." Halfway at number 5, Florence Pugh and Zach Braff. Florence Pugh has been very vocal about her disdain for people that judge her for her age gap relationship with actor Zach Braff. Florence is 25 and Zach is 46. When asked about their gap, she said, quote, "I have the right to hang out and be with and go out with anyone I want to. I've always found this part of what people do really bizarre. I'm an actor because I like acting and I don't mind people watching my stuff, but people have no right to educate me on my private life." Continuing, quote, "I'm 24 and I can't choose who I love. There's a reason why I'm not with someone my age. It hasn't worked. So who are you trying to match me up with?" Florence also addressed this topic after she received hate for wishing her boyfriend a happy birthday on her Instagram, saying that she was forced to turn off the comments after she got tons of hate. And at number 4, Celine Dion and Renee Angel. The music legend actually got married to someone that she had known since she was only 12. Celine's manager, Renee Angel, has managed her since she started her career at the age of 12. However, years later, when Dion was 18, her feelings started to change and they started dating. The pair ended up getting married when Celine was 26 and he was 52. And even though many people had doubts about their relationship, even Celine's family, they had a long and happy marriage. They wed in 1994, had children together, and stayed together until Angel passed away from cancer at age 73 in 2016. And at number 3, Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis was married to Demi Moore from 1987 to 2000, but after their split, he found love again with Emma Hemming in 2008. They started dating and got married in 2009 when Willis was 54 and Hemming was 32. Their age difference was very scandalous at the time, along with how much Hemming looked like a younger version of Demi Moore. Moore actually attended their wedding. The Daily Mail said at the time that Hemming, quote, "looks very much like Willis's first wife Demi Moore, just 16 years younger," adding that Hemming was only a few years older than Demi Moore's husband at that time, Ashton Kutcher. There was also a considerable 16-year age gap between that pair. And at number 2, Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid got married to PhD student Laura Savoy in October of 2019. The couple has a 39-year age gap. When talking about their age gap, Quaid said that he is not fazed, saying about the relationship, quote, "I didn't go out looking for an age gap or someone really younger than me. I met her at a business event and then the relationship developed." However, it does seem to be a trend with Quaid because his last partner was 32 years younger than him. And finally at number 1, Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie and his girlfriend set the internet ablaze when people started to realize how large of an age gap that they had. Lionel Richie and girlfriend Lisa Parigi have a 40-year age gap between them, with him being 71 while his girlfriend is 31. Online, the reaction was a mix of support and hate towards the couple. One user wrote, quote, "Lionel Richie with his new bae, he's 71 and she's 30, love wins." However, some other people pointed out that he is old enough to be her grandfather, and pointing out how when he was 40, she was just born. The pair have been dating since 2014, and honestly I was shocked to hear that Lionel Richie is 71. He looks phenomenal. I thought he was in his 50s from seeing him on American Idol.
Number 10, Leo DiCaprio. Leo has had several younger partners over the years. He's never dated anyone older than him or even close to his age. Earlier this year, a Twitter user actually took the time to create a chart showcasing the age gap slowly growing between himself and his newest partners. He is currently dating a woman by the name of Camila Morrone, who is 22 years younger than Leo. According to the chart, he prefers women in their early to mid-20s, but he hasn't stayed in a relationship with anyone past the age of 25. He's actually broken up with 3 women just because they turned 25. Like, how messed up is that? Like they expired or something. That's not a thing. Despite severe online backlash from internet trolls, Camila hit back at the criticism by sharing several photos of other couples with much larger gaps than hers and Leo's. As you will see throughout the rest of this list, the statement is very true. While other entries will be a bit more wholesome, Leo's story of love is clouded with anxiety. Oddly enough, Camila actually dumped Leo herself before turning 25, claiming that Leo wanted a family and she wanted to focus on her career, but come on, you just wanted to beat Leo to it, didn't you? Number 9. Jeff Goldblum and Emily Livingston. Jeff Goldblum is one of those celebrities that just kinda like plays himself in movies, and we love every minute of it. He even has a TV show where he does just that, called The World According to Jeff Goldblum. It's tremendous, you should check it out. In 2013, Jeff met Olympic gymnast Emily Livingston at a gym. He saw her from across the room and was instantly entranced. He started a conversation, and it must have gone pretty well because about a year later they were married. At the time, he was 62 and she was 31. That's right, there was a 31-year age gap between them. Much respect to Jeff for still going to a gym in his 60s though, we can only be so lucky. And the fact that he met a woman that he loves there is just like a little bonus. Many news outlets began to question the relationship, calling into question Jeff's behavior, but since day one there has been nothing but love and respect between the two who share a genuine connection with each other. Their relationship has stood the test of time, as not only are they still together to this day, they've had 2 children together, Charlie Ocean and River Joe. Even at the age of 70 years old, Jeff is the proudest papa that we've seen in a long time. Number 8. Nicolas Cage and Alice Kim. Nicolas Cage is a man that should need no introduction, but honestly his career has just been all over the place, so let's chat about it for a minute. Nicolas is famous for making some very questionable acting choices that have teetered between fantastic and just god-awful burn my eyes out now. While his luck in the film industry has been solid, his love life not so much. That is until he met Alice Kim in 2004 while she was working as a waitress in Los Angeles. Kim was 19 at the time and Nicolas was 20 years older than her. He told The Guardian, "When my mother-in-law came to the house for the first time, before saying hello or nice to meet you, all I got was, 'She's too young.'" At that point they knew the relationship would be an uphill battle, but they powered through, with Alice even starring in Nick's 2007 flick Next alongside Julianne Moore and Jessica Biel. They split in 2016, but during their time together they had a son named Kal-El Coppola Cage, which is somehow both the strangest and most epic name I have ever heard. Number 7. Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble. Kardashian momager Kris Jenner, much like her daughters, has had a rocky love life to say the least. Kris divorced Caitlyn Jenner in 2014 and decided to take a trip to Ibiza to cool off. She was attending a friend's party when she ran into Corey Gamble, a former talent agent who was working as Justin Bieber's tour manager at the time. Sparks flew and the couple decided to continue their escapades, first being spotted together in October 2014 at a music festival. The couple were inseparable to the point where a year later, Corey was invited to be a part of the reality drama series Keeping Up with the Kardashians, following Kris and her family's day-to-day operations. Or something like that, I don't know, I don't watch it. However, her kids weren't so stoked about the idea of Corey being their new papa, seeing as he was 24 years younger than their mother. Despite backlash from the kids, the relationship continued and they're currently going strong to this day. Number 6. Patrick Stewart and Sunny Ozell. Sir Patrick Stewart is a prime example of a man dating much younger women. Star Trek star and future wheelchair-bound telepath met his wife Sunny Ozell, a singer, in 2008 while out for dinner one night. Ozell was a singer in the States and doing very well for herself. She approached Patrick Stewart about his current production of Macbeth. She wanted to see it in Brooklyn, but it was sold out till the end of its run. Well, Patrick then told her that they would be moving the show to Broadway soon and gave her his number so that he could set her up with some seats. Patrick has stated in interviews that there may have been an ulterior motive, and thankfully it appears that that was the situation on both sides. Despite the 38-year age difference between them, the couple began seeing each other not long after Macbeth's Broadway premiere, and they were married in 2013. They are still together to this day and are genuinely one of the most adorable couples in Hollywood. They act like college sweethearts whenever they're together. And Stewart, who is now 82, has made it clear that his relationship with Sunny has given him a new outlook and has made life perpetually interesting. Number 5. Florence Pugh and Zach Braff. Florence Pugh has been carving a path in Hollywood as a force to be reckoned with. She's funny, she's serious, she can fight, she's got it all! And what she also has is a thing for older funny dudes. Zach Braff is probably best known for being in the TV series Scrubs from 2001 to 2010, but I know him as the voice of Chicken Little. Zach first contacted Pugh on Instagram to praise her for her role in Lady Macbeth. He said everything about the project was beautiful, from the cinematography to Florence herself. She reached out in a response, and the couple were spotted holding hands in April of 2019. Despite their 12-year age difference, they seemed to have a solid relationship and were going strong until 2022, when things just kind of fizzled out. Although they split, Zach actually wrote a character in his directorial debut feature A Good Person with Florence in mind, and they worked very well together despite their past. Number 4. Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor. American Horror Story fans surely recognize Sarah as various characters throughout the series, appearing in 95 episodes. She starred in a slew of thriller and horror movies over the years, but one Holland Taylor was able to look past the scary exterior. You may recognize Taylor from the movie Legally Blonde, the sitcom 2.5 Men, or perhaps from the highly underrated Disney comedy George of the Jungle. The two met at a party in 2005. At the time, Paulson was dating fellow actress Sherry Jones, best known for her role in the series Succession. Despite there being a 32-year age difference between Sarah and Holland, Paulson claims that she was instantly taken back by Taylor's beauty, quoted as saying she was probably the most beautifully exquisite woman she had ever seen. Come on guys, find you a partner that says that kind of stuff. While this would be their first interaction, it wasn't until 10 years later in 2015 that the couple would reunite while working on a project for Martha Plimpton. They slid into each other's DMs and eventually into the sheets. They've been together since their reconnection in 2015 and are going strong despite some backlash on their age difference. Number 3. Mary-Kate Olsen. Kate may have grown up on the small screen with her twin sister Ashley, but nowadays she spends her time with a new life partner. His name is Olivier Sarkozy, the former French president's half-brother. Yeah, that guy definitely sounds like a catfish. Olsen, seen here being held hostage by Olivier at a basketball game, is 17 years younger than her spouse. They were married in 2015, and around the same time, her sister Ashley was also dating someone much older than her, director Bennett Miller, who is 19 years her senior. Number 2. Dick Van Dyke and Arlene Silver. Dick Van Dyke stole the hearts of millions when he played chimney sweep Bert in the original Mary Poppins movie from 1964. Fun fact, in 1964, his current wife wasn't even alive yet. He starred in several classic flicks over the years, well into his 70s, even starring alongside Ben Stiller in Night at the Museum in 2006. Van, because I'm not allowed to call him by his first or last name for pretty obvious reasons, met wife and makeup artist Arlene Silver at the Screen Actors Guild Award in 2006. Despite their 46-year age difference, it seemed that their connection was too strong to care. They were married in 2012 and are still going strong to this day, making them one of the few Hollywood couples to make it in Hollywood. Hey, that's something they should be very proud of. And at number 1, Sam and Aaron Taylor Johnson. Many viewers will recognize Aaron's face. He's been a leading man in several movies over the years and a very strong supporting actor, as showcased in his recent role as Tangerine in Bullet Train, alongside Brad Pitt and Brian Tyree Henry. In 2009, when he was just 19, Aaron played legendary musician John Lennon in a biopic called Nowhere Boy. The film told the story of a young John Lennon pre-Beatles fame during his adolescence, with a focus on his relationship between his family and his journey to becoming a Beatle. The film was directed by a woman named Samantha Taylor Wood, who was 42 at the time. Samantha is a producer and director, best known for her 2015 romantic thriller, 50 Shades of Grey. It would appear that Aaron's performance as John, particularly the steamy sections, caught her attention in quite a few ways, and the pair began seeing each other on the down low. 2 years later, they were married and now share each other's last names, Taylor Johnson, and currently live with their 4 kids in Los Angeles. A happy ending to a happy list. Number 10. Jeff Goldblum and Emily Livingston. Jeff Goldblum is one of those celebrities that just kind of plays himself in movies, and we just love every minute of it. He's even got his own TV show where he kind of just does that, called The World According to Jeff Goldblum. You should really check it out if you haven't. In 2013, Jeff met Olympic gymnast Emily Livingston at a gym. He saw her from across the room and was instantly entranced. He started a conversation that must have gone pretty well, because a year later they were married. At the time, he was 62 and she 31, leaving an, yeah, that's right, 31-year age gap between them. Much respect to Jeff for still going to the gym in his 60s, though we can all only be so lucky. The fact that he met a woman that he loves is just a little bonus on top. Many news outlets began to question the relationship, calling into question Jeff's behavior, but since day one there has been nothing but love and respect between these two, who share a genuine connection with each other. Their relationship has stood the test of time, as not only are they still together to this day, but they've had 2 children together, Charlie Ocean and River Joe. Even at the age of 70 years old, Jeff is the proudest papa we have seen in a long time. Number 9. Nick Cage and Alice Kim. Nicolas Cage is a man that should need no introduction, but honestly, his career has been all over the place, so let's talk about it for a minute. Nicolas is famous for making some questionable acting choices that have teetered between fantastic and just god-awful. Please get rid of it. While his luck in the film industry has been solid, his love life, not so much. That is until he met Alice Kim in 2004 while she was working as a waitress in Los Angeles. Kim was 19 at the time, and Nick was 20 years older than her. He told The Guardian that, "When my mother-in-law came to the house for the first time, before saying hello or nice to meet you, all I got was, 'She's too young.'" I'm sorry, that was a horrible impression, but I'm not doing my own voice. It's bad for Nick Cage's face. At that point, he knew the relationship would be an uphill battle, but they powered through, with Alice even starring in Nick's 2007 flick Next alongside Julianne Moore and Jessica Biel. They split in 2016, but during their time together, they had a son named Cal L. Coppola Cage, which is somehow both the strangest and coolest name I have ever heard. Number 7. Al Pacino and Noor Alfallah. Noor has been making headlines recently after it was announced that she would be bearing Al Pacino's spawn. The 29-year-old film producer was confirmed via Al's publicist that Noor and Al had been in a secret relationship for roughly a year. At some point, we're assuming probably like 9 months prior to a few weeks ago, Noor became pregnant, which Al didn't take all that well. Upon initially hearing the news, Al had just a little bit of a freak out and he briefly broke up with Noor, instead returning to his ex-girlfriend Beverly D'Angelo. Despite his little pound and pounce, Al eventually returned to Noor with the intention of raising his newborn baby. This man is 82 years old. He may be a new dad, but it's probably not going to be for very long, right? Like, Al looks more and more disheveled when appearing in paparazzi pics these days, or when he's even alongside anybody, like anyone at all. He just looks so bad. So we're not sure what leads him to believe that he's about to be the dad of the year when he'll be lucky to even make it to dad of the month. Number 6. Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble. Kardashian momager Kris Jenner, much like her daughters, has had a rocky love life to say the least. Kris divorced Caitlyn Jenner in 2014 and decided to take a trip to Ibiza to cool off. While she was attending a friend's party, she ran into Corey Gamble, a former talent agent who was working as Justin Bieber's tour manager at the time. Sparks flew and the couple decided to continue their escapades, first being spotted together in October 2014 at a music festival together. The couple were inseparable to the point where a year later, Corey was invited to be a part of the reality drama series Keeping Up with the Kardashians, following Kris and her family's day-to-day operations. I don't know, it's trash, I just don't watch it. However, her kids weren't so stoked about the idea of Corey being their new papa, seeing he was 24 years younger than their mother. Despite backlash from the kids though, the relationship continued and they're still going strong to this day, so I don't know, good for them. Number 5. Patrick Stewart and Sunny Ozell. Sir Patrick Stewart is a prime example of a man dating a much younger woman. The Star Trek star and future wheelchair-bound telepath met his wife Sunny Ozell, who is a singer, in 2008 while out for dinner one night. Ozell is a singer in the States and was doing very well for herself at the time. She approached Patrick about his current production of Macbeth. She wanted to see it in Brooklyn, but it was sold out until the end of its run. Patrick then told her that they would be moving the show to Broadway soon, and he gave her his number so that he could, set her up with some seats for the show. Patrick has stated in interviews that there may have been an ulterior motive, and thankfully appears that that was the situation on both sides. Despite the 38-year age difference, the couple began seeing each other not long after Macbeth's Broadway premiere, and they got married in 2013. They're still together to this day and are genuinely one of the most adorable couples in Hollywood. They act like college sweethearts whenever they're together, and Stewart, who's now 82, has made it clear that his relationship with Sonny has given him a new outlook and has made his life perpetually more interesting. I mean, just look at the dude in interviews. He literally lights up. It's beautiful. Number 4, Dick Van Dyke and Arlene Silver. Dick Van Dyke stole the hearts of millions when he played chimney sweep and inventor Bert in the original Mary Poppins movie from 1964. Fun fact, in 1964, his current wife wasn't even alive yet. He starred in several classic flicks over the years, well into his 70s, even starring alongside Ben Stiller in the Night at the Museum series in 2006. Van, because I'm not allowed to call him by his first or last names for pretty obvious reasons, met his wife and makeup artist Arlene Silver at the Screen Actors Guild Award in 2006. Despite their 46-year age difference, it seemed that their connection was too strong to care. They were married in 2012 and are still going strong to this day, making them one of the few Hollywood couples to make it, and that's something that they should be proud of. Number 3, Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor. American Horror Story fans surely recognize Sarah as various characters throughout the series, appearing in 95 episodes. She starred in a slew of thriller and horror movies over the past few years, but one Holland Taylor was able to look past that scary exterior. You may recognize Taylor from movies like Legally Blonde, the sitcom 2.5 Men, or perhaps George of the Jungle, the Disney comedy. The two met at a party in 2005. At the time, Paulson was dating fellow actress Sherry Jones, best known for her role in the series Succession. Despite there being a 32-year age difference between Sarah and Holland, Paulson claims that she was instantly taken back by Taylor's beauty, quoted as saying she was probably the most beautifully exquisite woman that she had ever seen. I'm sorry, this is so nice. While this would be their first interaction, it wasn't until 10 years later in 2015 that the couple would reunite while working on a project for Martha Plimpton. They slid into each other's DMs and eventually into the sheets. They've been together since their reconnection in 2015 and are going strong despite some backlash on their age difference. Number 2, Mary-Kate Olsen. Now, Kate may have grown up on the small screen with her twin sister Ashley, but nowadays she spends her time with a new life partner. His name is Olivier Sarkozy, the former French president's half-brother, which sounds completely made up. That dude's probably a catfish. Olsen, who is seen regularly in photos looking like a hostage being held by Olivier, is 17 years younger than her spouse. They were married in 2015, and around the same time, her sister Ashley was also dating someone who was much older than her, the director Bennett Miller, who is 19 years her senior. Mary-Kate and Ashley used to travel the world in glamour, and it would appear that along the way they picked up some finely aged Frenchmen and directors. Ooh la la. And at number 1, it's Sam and Aaron Taylor Johnson. Many viewers will recognize Aaron's face. He's been a leading man in several movies over the years and a strong supporting actor, as showcased in his recent role as Tangerine in the movie Bullet Train alongside Brad Pitt and Brian Tyree Henry. In 2009, when he was just 19, Aaron played legendary musician John Lennon in a biopic called Nowhere Boy. The film told the story of a young John Lennon pre-Beatles fame during his adolescence, with a focus on his relationship with his family and his journey to becoming a Beatle. The film was directed by a woman named Samantha Taylor Wood, who was 42 at the time. Samantha is a producer and director, probably best known for her work on the romantic thriller series 50 Shades of Grey. It would appear that Aaron's performances as John, particularly the steamy sections, caught her attention in quite a few ways, and the pair began seeing each other on the down low. 2 years later, they were married and now share each other's last names, Taylor Johnson, and currently live with their 4 kids in Los Angeles.
Starting off our list day at number 10, we have Millie Bobby Brown. Millie Bobby Brown has just revealed that she is now engaged to her boyfriend that she has been in a relationship with for 2.5 years, Jake Bon Jovi. The Stranger Things actress, who is 19, announced the news earlier Tuesday alongside Jake, who is the son of legendary singer Jon Bon Jovi. Showing off her glimmering rock with a monochrome picture, the teenage star beamed from ear to ear while while in the arms of her new fiance, when she went on to caption her post by saying, "I've loved you 3 summers now, honey, I want them all." Jake also shared an announcement post on his own page, simply writing "forever" alongside 2 snaps of the couple. The announcement would confirm some speculation that's been circulating online for the last couple of weeks after Millie was seen flashing a glimpse of the ring in her recent post. With the two connecting on Instagram and becoming friends through the platform before they started dating, it still has a lot of people questioning how appropriate their relationship really is. Number 9. Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian's marriages have always been pretty controversial, especially to her first husband, Damon Thomas. And this is probably because the star admitted that she was under the influence when she made the decision to marry the music producer, when she was just 19 years old. With the star admitting on an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians that she made some pretty bad decisions in the past due to her substance use, she would elaborate on her use to her younger sister Kendall Jenner and the father of her sister Kourtney Kardashian's children, Scott Disick. When she said, "I did it once and got married, I did it again and made an X-rated tape," like everything bad would happen. However, the most disturbing part is the fact that Damon was 30 when he married Kim at the age of 19. Kim would eventually divorce the music producer, citing physical and emotional trauma on Thomas's part, and they would separate in 2003. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never have to miss out on what we might just cover next. Coming back to our list, in the number 8 spot, we have Drew Barrymore. You know what's funnier than a 72-day marriage, a 19-day one, but lucky for Drew, no one actually seems to talk about it. Drew's transformation from a child star to a credible actress may have been a long process, but she got there in the end somewhat unscathed. However, one thing that didn't come out of her troubled past unscathed was her love life, as the actress has been married 3 times in such a short amount of time. With her mother encouraging her at a young age to have a typical celebrity life, attending parties even though she was only 10. She was always accompanying her mother to nightclubs, and by the age of 10 she even turned to alcohol and substances to cope with all of her trauma. By the age of 19, Drew would meet Jerry Thomas, who was 31 years old at the time, after she walked into a bar he owned, with the two separating just 19 days after. Drew would then go on to get married 2 more times, and after both those times Drew would finally vow off dating, until last year when she revealed after 6 years of not dating she was finally dating again. Number 7. Hailey Bieber. So I think we can all agree Hailey and Justin Bieber got married not only way too young but also way too fast, and that's probably why we see the couple struggling from time to time to cope with the problems that are surrounding their marriage. With Hailey opening up about reflecting on her decision to marry Justin Bieber when she was only 21 years old back in 2021, she would then tell Insider, "I was married when I was 21, 2 months before I turned 22, which is insanely young. Sounds almost ridiculous when you say it out loud. Although I do think for somebody like me and somebody like Justin, it's different. We've seen a lot for our age. We both lived enough life to know that's what we wanted." But are we really sure this is exactly what Justin wanted? Because we all know Hailey wanted to marry him since she was an obsessed fan, forcing her parents to introduce her to the star. With Hailey admitting that she had a desire to settle down early as a result of her parents' story, Justin has even gone on to admit that her parents definitely arranged his marriage, now that he thinks about it. Coming at number 6, we have Aaliyah. Just 2 years after Aaliyah signed a record deal with her uncle in Detroit when she was just 12 years old, she teamed up with R. Kelly to make her first record, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Not long after Aaliyah and Kelly entered into a relationship, by the time Aaliyah turned 15 years old, and she would remarry Kelly, who was 27 at the time, as a scheme he hatched to protect himself as he feared that he impregnated her. When her parents discovered their marriage, they would quickly have it annulled, but the scandal went on to tarnish Aaliyah's reputation more than Kelly's, as no one really considered her to be one of Kelly's first victims. In 2019, Kelly would also face charges with scheming with others to pay for a fake ID for an unnamed female a day before he married Aaliyah. And the revised indictment accused Kelly of paying a bribe in exchange for a fraudulent identification for someone identified only as Jane Doe on August 30th, 1994. A day later, Kelly married Aaliyah in a secret ceremony that he arranged in a hotel in Chicago. At the time, the US Attorney's Office declined to comment about whom the ID was meant for, and the indictment didn't mention the wedding, but a person familiar with the investigation would confirm the Jane Doe was Aaliyah. However, that still didn't stop Kelly and his attorneys from maintaining the idea that he was unaware of Aaliyah's age when they were married, and the license he gave her for the wedding said that she was 18. Number 5. Marilyn Monroe. It's clear that Marilyn Monroe lived a really tough life. As many fans of Marilyn know, she did not grow up with her parents, as her mother Gladys Pearl Baker was not prepared to raise a child, with her mother later being diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. As a result, she had to give Marilyn to a foster family. Marilyn would then go on to be raised in numerous foster homes and orphanages, and eventually she lived in the home of her mother's friend's house, Grace Goddard, and her husband, Irwin Doc Goddard, during high school. However, in 1942, right as Marilyn was turning 16, Doc's job relocated him out of the state, and due to California's protection laws, he wouldn't be able to bring Monroe along with him. This would then force her to go back to the orphanage. As a result, Marilyn would then settle by marrying her neighbor, James Doherty, who was 21 years old, so she could avoid being sent back to the orphanage. Monroe then dropped out of school to become a housewife. James later enlisted in the Marines, and the couple would finally divorce by 1946. And coming in number 4, we have Milla Jovovich. In the early 90s, Milla Jovovich was in a hurry to grow up. The model and actress got her big break in movies in 1993 when she landed a role in a cult comedy classic called Dazed and Confused. Years later, she told the Daily Mail that the flick also marked a big break in her love life because she decided to elope with her co-star and boyfriend Shawn Andrews, who was only 21 years old. With the two getting hitched in Las Vegas when Milla was only 16 years old, the Residence Evil star would later reveal she wasn't even into actors and she just did it to prove a point to her mom and to score a bank card. Later, Milla would even open up about her relationship when she said, "I was a big girl as far as I was concerned, and I wanted to establish myself as an adult, and I was working like one and being treated like one by everyone else. It wasn't about being in love." The pair then went on to get married in secret in 1992, and just 2 months later, according to the director of Dazed and Confused, he would state he believed that the marriage ended after Milla's mother had it annulled. Number 3. Courtney Stodden. Back in 2022, Courtney Stodden would speak out about being married to actor Doug Hutchinson when they were 16 and Doug was 51 by saying they were exploited. Courtney, who uses the pronouns they them, would go on to say they exchanged vows with Doug in Las Vegas back in 2011 with parental consent, as Nevada's law at the time stated those under 18 could get married but only with parental consent. And with there being no minimum limit in the state at the time, parental consent and a judge sign-off was required for anyone under the age of 16. Recounting the experience when they appeared on an episode of the Call Her Daddy podcast, Courtney, who's divorced from the Lost actor that was finalized in 2022, told the host that their relationship actually started over email and things quickly progressed. Doug then went on to convince Courtney's parents that the pair should get married, and 1 week after they all met in person. When Courtney went on to speak about her mother, they would highlight that their mother was receiving a lot of hate and they could understand why, because it was wrong for their mom to sign them away to a man who was 34 years older than them, with nothing preparing them for the life they had entered into. They just wanted people to know that the relationship wasn't okay, and someone should have realized that she wasn't mature enough to make her own decisions. Number 2. Demi Moore. Demi Moore's first marriage was to musician Freddie Moore when the actress was just 17 years old, with Demi giving fans an inside look of her 3 marriages in her memoir Inside Out. In the book, she would recall her and Freddie's marriage, which only lasted until 1984, with Demi admitting that she was very unfaithful to the musician who was 29, especially on the night before they were set to say I do. She would go on to say, "The night before we got married, instead of working on my videos, I was calling a guy I'd met on a movie set. I snuck out of my own bachelorette party and went to his apartment." Demi then went on to note that the reason she did this was because she was having doubts and she couldn't face the fact that she was actually getting married because she was trying trying to distract herself from grieving the passing of her father. Because she felt like there was no room to question what was really in motion, she felt like the only way she could get out of her marriage was to sabotage it. Eventually, the two went on to get a divorce, and Demi would keep her married name as her stage name. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Bindi Irwin. Bindi Irwin and Chandler Powell have a movie-worth romance. With the pair meeting as teenagers in late 2013, they stayed in touch for a couple of years before they became an official couple in 2015. Chandler would then move to Australia to be with Bindi, and later he would ask her to marry him in 2019. The couple then finally got married the following year when she was 21 and he was 23, and then by 2021 they would welcome their daughter Grace. Bindi, alongside her brother and mom, have continued working for her late father Steve Irwin, who is known most for his stage name The Crocodile Hunter. For years, Steve traveled across the globe to protect animals and help preserve the environment before his passing. Now Bindi does the work with her own family, and even Chandler has become equally passionate about the wildlife, and they have been showing their daughter how to have passion for it as well. With the couple meeting in the Australia Zoo to go on to welcome their daughter and allowing her to grow up in her grandfather's legacy, I think when it comes to this marriage, Steve Irwin would be extremely proud.
Could a divorce for Justin and Hailey Bieber be on the horizon for the new year? 2026 might be the year they say, we're done. Okay, let's talk about Justin and Hailey Bieber, the couple that has been trying so hard to convince the world they're fine that it has officially become the biggest red flag of the decade. I mean, if you have to repeatedly announce that you're good, strong, and taking things day by day, you're not announcing stability, you're announcing the countdown to your divorce. Let's start with Justin, because this man has spent the last few years expressing his feelings exclusively through Instagram captions that read like the diary entries of someone who just discovered heartbreak for the very first time. I mean, at one point, he wrote a whole paragraph confessing that he's broken, angry, fragile, struggling, everything except happy in his marriage. These weren't cryptic quotes, these were the emotional equivalent of a flashing neon sign that says, "My marriage is on fire and I'm standing in the flames with an acoustic guitar." Meanwhile, Hailey has been posting her own curated kind of melancholy stuff. I mean, she's dropping lines like, "I am imperfect, I have been rejected, and I still have purpose," which is exactly the kind of thing you post after realizing, affirmations won't fix a relationship that feels like a group project where you're the only one doing the work. And when she said they were just taking it, a day at a time, every therapist worldwide quietly raised an eyebrow. Nobody who's in a healthy marriage says we're taking it a day at a time. That's what you say when your relationship is on the same life support machine as a plant you forgot to water for 3 weeks. And let's talk about the dynamic here, because these two have an energy that screams, we love each other, but we don't actually like each other. The vibes are tense. Justin has publicly shaded Hailey more than once, like when he told her she'd never be on the cover of Vogue, and then she went and landed the cover of Vogue, and he posted it with the enthusiasm of a man who just realized his wife exceeded a standard he set as a joke. That is not support. That is embarrassment disguised as pride. I mean, their public moments don't help either. They look like a couple whose arguments start with, "I'm fine," and end with one of them crying in a Range Rover while paparazzi zoom in from across the street. And yes, they've got a kid now, but adding a baby to a shaky foundation doesn't magically fix anything. We all know that. It just means now there's a witness to all of this. The truth is their entire marriage feels like two people trying to heal a million emotional wounds with, aesthetically pleasing photos, vacation montages, and PR-approved statements. But behind the scenes, the cracks are loud, the energy is off, the chemistry is giving situationship that accidentally got a marriage certificate. Every year people say they won't make it, and every year they do, but barely. And now, after all the emotional breakdowns, cold body language, sad interviews, and oddly timed spiritual quotes, it genuinely feels like both of them are living in separate realities and occasionally scheduling a kiss for optics. So yeah, I don't know. Is 2026 the year Justin and Hailey finally call it quits? Honestly, the evidence isn't subtle. I mean, when you have two people broadcasting emotional distress like it's free Wi-Fi, that's not a couple that stays married forever. That's a couple kind of inching closer and closer to filing a divorce and releasing matching notes app statements about love, respect, and growth. I mean, at this point, the divorce papers are basically warming up in the bullpen, and honestly, it might be the best thing for both of them, because when your marriage causes more emotional monologues than a Taylor Swift album and more cryptic posts than a teenage breakup, that's not romance. That's a storyline waiting to happen, and 2026 is looking like the year that this storyline finally drops.
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis' marriage is in serious trouble, and insiders are now saying things are worse than fans thought. Fans used to gush about them as the cute holiday Hollywood couple. Now they're whispering that Ashton has checked out emotionally, while Mila feels isolated, frustrated, and alone in the relationship. And it's not just rumors. Friends are raising red flags. Let's get this straight. Ashton Kutcher isn't ignoring his marriage because he's jet-setting for romantic getaways. No, according to insiders, he's so absorbed in the tech world and his latest business obsessions that he's barely present at home. Sources say Ashton's focus has shifted entirely to networking with tech bros, investing, and building his second career, leaving Mila to deal with life, kids, and Hollywood on her own. Friends are reportedly worried that Ashton's priorities are so out of balance that Mila is left feeling very isolated. A pretty brutal description for someone who's supposed to be your partner for life. And here's where it gets even messier. Sources who've known them for years say things have changed dramatically in recent months. According to insiders, Mila and Ashton no longer share the same energy, goals, or even the same circle of friends. And that's exactly how marriages crack and collapse behind closed doors. One friend reportedly warned Ashton that he's lost interest in building a life with Mila like he used to, because all of his energy is tied up with tech events, fundraisers, and business lunches with new associates. Now, let's talk about isolation. Not as some cute quote on a coffee mug, but the real buzzword insiders are using. According to reports, Mila doesn't want to give up her Hollywood life or her career, and she doesn't want to be left alone raising their kids while Ashton chases deals and board memberships across Silicon Valley. That's not tension, that's a relationship growing apart. When one partner feels sidelined and the other is emotionally unavailable, flames go out fast, and the pressure is only getting worse. Fans haven't forgotten past controversies, like the backlash over their apology letters supporting convicted that 70s show co-star Danny Masterson, which still haunts their public image online. Even when they try to appear united on red carpets, some fans are now shouting that they're not forgiven and their public smiles look more like PR damage control than real happiness. That's the kind of heat that gets under a couple's skin when the cameras stop rolling. Ed out together, coordinated denim looks, Rome strolls, even family vacations. But insiders say those moments are more about saving face than saving a marriage. It's the old Hollywood playbook. Look happy in paparazzi pics, ignore the cracks nobody sees off camera. But when people who actually know you are saying things like, he needs to step up, you know it's past denial. So what's really going on with Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis? Are they heading for divorce or just in the worst rough patch of their marriage? Here's the brutal takeaway. When one spouse checks out emotionally and invests their time elsewhere, it's not just trouble, it's a slow unraveling. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this marriage on the rocks, or are they just weathering a storm Hollywood style?
Something is seriously wrong with Benny Blanco, and yes, the clips are terrifyingly uncomfortable. Since marrying Selena Gomez, the internet is panicking, and nobody wanted to say this until now. Look, they should be Hollywood's power couple. She's a global icon, he's a hitmaker. But something weird is happening behind the glamour. Ever since that Santa Barbara wedding, the internet isn't just talking, it's obsessing. Fans started noticing strange behavior and hilarious but cringe habits from Benny, like that Golden Globes chewing gum moment people couldn't unsee. Fans called it nasty, open-mouth chewing, and straight up distracting on camera. People were like, tell him to stop on Twitter and on Threads. And it didn't stop at gum chewing. Every camera cut had people talking. One comment said it made them want to punch a hole in the wall. That's not love, that's Monday morning tantrum energy. Now fans online have actually started roasting the whole relationship. Some saying Benny just looks uninterested, like he's not even in it unless the cameras are on him. Some Reddit threads brutally claim that Selena chased him and that he never really gave love back. Now that's a hard narrative. Then there's the other side of this story. Selena herself recently opened up about how she cried and feared the worst right after their wedding. She said that even amid the happiest moment of her life, her brain went straight to, what if this all goes wrong tomorrow, and sobbed. Now that's raw vulnerability, not a PR spin. Fans took that though and ran with it. Some supportive, some saying it's signs of insecurity, others saying it's just pressure from fame. Either way though, people are talking. And fan reactions, well, it's mixed chaos. Some fans are straight up shading the couple's Golden Globes appearance, saying they didn't even look like a couple. Commenters insist that they looked like a mess and claimed that there was zero chemistry. Oof. Others insisted that Selena's the one putting in all the emotional work, and Benny's just there for the front row perks. Yikes. Now, you have to see social posts, memes about Benny's habits, clips gone viral, people mocking everything from gum to awkward expressions, and it's like watching a reality show without the producers. Commentary's wild, from supportive to savage, and that split makes everyone talk even more. Now, just at the 2026 Golden Globes, they were supposed to be the picture-perfect newlyweds, Selena glowing in Chanel and Benny beside her. They even hit a diner afterwards, like total relatable couple goals, but even amid the glam and the PDA, the online narrative was already writing itself. Is this just pressure, a weird habit, or a sign that their marriage isn't what it looks like? That's the tea everyone's sipping. So tell me, is this just quirky celebrity behavior, or is there something seriously weird going on with Benny Blanco's energy since marrying Selena Gomez? Comment team concerned or team it's nothing below.
Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz may be headed towards a divorce sooner than we thought. So Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz are officially giving marriage under pressure. No, this isn't just tabloids being dramatic. This is a full-blown family implosion with billionaire in-laws, image control, and decades of Beckham branding crashing headfirst into a very young marriage. Because right now, Brooklyn isn't just distancing himself from his famous parents, he's publicly choosing sides, and the side he's choosing is Nicola. Now, sources close to the situation say Brooklyn has become completely estranged from David and Victoria Beckham, and the reason allegedly is Nicola. Now, or more specifically, his decision to actually defend her at all costs, even if it means torching his relationship with his own family. And, you know, that's where things start getting messy. According to reports, the tension that's actually between Nicola and Victoria didn't magically just kind of appear out of nowhere. It's actually been simmering since the wedding, you know, the infamous wedding, the one that was supposed to be a fairy tale and instead turned into a Cold War with floral arrangements. Yeah. The dress drama alone was enough to fuel headlines for, you know, years to come. Now, Nicola didn't wear a Victoria Beckham gown despite early plans, and that reportedly struck a nerve, and from there, everything escalated. I mean, passive comments, hurt feelings, power struggles, and control issues disguised as, you know, misunderstandings. But here's where it gets interesting. Brooklyn is no longer playing neutral. Behind the scenes, insiders say Brooklyn feels his parents have repeatedly crossed boundaries in his marriage, that they've inserted themselves, questioned decisions, and treated Nicola less like his wife and more like a problem that needed to be managed. And Brooklyn, he's had enough. He's reportedly told friends that his loyalty is with his wife, full stop, period. He also said that Nicola makes him feel supported, understood, and protected, things he allegedly hasn't felt with his own family for a very long time, which is a big statement when your parents are literally David and Victoria Beckham. And this is where people start whispering the word divorce, because when a marriage becomes the center of a family fractured this deep, the pressure is unreal. On one side, you've got a woman who comes from extreme wealth, who doesn't need the Beckham name, who doesn't rely on their brand, and who isn't interested in playing polite when she feels disrespected. And on the other side, you've got a family whose entire legacy is built on image, loyalty, and, you know, control of the narrative. Also, allegedly, the parents have said, allegedly, that they won't talk to him unless he splits from her, which is crazy. So Brooklyn, of course, is stuck in the middle, except lately he's not in the middle at all. He's fully aligned with Nicola, and friends of the Beckhams say David and Victoria are devastated. I mean, they feel blindsided. They believe Nicola has pulled Brooklyn away from them and created distance that needed to, or that didn't need to exist. But people close to Brooklyn, they see it very differently. They say this isn't Nicola isolating him, it's Brooklyn finally setting boundaries. And if that's true, that's a dangerous emotional position for a young marriage to be in, because when you cut off your entire support system for your partner, the relationship suddenly has to carry everything, every, you know, disagreement, every bad day, every crack. That's when resentment creeps in. And that's why people are watching this marriage so closely, because while Brooklyn is publicly standing firm, insiders say the pressure behind closed doors is intense. He's balancing loyalty to his wife with unresolved pain from his parents, and that emotional weight doesn't just disappear because you post a cute little Instagram photo. Nicola, meanwhile, is said to feel constantly blamed, like no matter what happens, she's the villain or the woman who took their son away. But the question is whether this marriage can survive being the battleground for one of the most famous families in the world, because love is one thing, but love under this much pressure, that's where cracks start to show. And if this keeps escalating, don't be surprised if headed towards divorce stops sounding like less speculation and starts sounding like a headline that finally comes true. Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel aren't exactly living in marital bliss, and I've got some tea on that. Let's get straight into it. Justin Timberlake, ex-boy band heartthrob, solo pop legend, actor, king of sexy back, and Jessica Biel, A-list Hollywood actress, mom, producer, have been married since 2012. But peel back the red carpet gloss and what looks like a fairy tale in tabloids might actually be a struggle. Now, this isn't your typical they had a fight at brunch celebrity drama. No, insiders have told outlets that Jessica Biel has been frustrated with Justin's alleged lack of effort to actually, help with their marriage, especially at a time when his schedule should have given him space to focus on family. And yeah, it doesn't stop there. Sources have even described the couple's marriage as having little to no intimacy, a dry, passionless dynamic that would be tough for any relationship, let alone, one always in the public eye. To understand why this is such a topic, we have to rewind a little bit. Justin Timberlake doesn't exactly have a spotless reputation when it comes to relationships. Even before Jessica, his history was, punctuated with rumors and controversies from the infamous Crimea River era, and all the speculation about Britney Spears, to flirtation scandals and very public celebrity moments that kept his name in gossip columns. Now, that particular pattern didn't magically disappear once he married Biel. I mean, in 2019, Justin was photographed hand in hand with his Palmer co-star in New Orleans, cozy enough for a public apology. He ended up deleting the post, claiming it was a lapse in judgment and blaming, alcohol while insisting nothing happened physically. Okay. That's the kind of message the public remembers, and one that sparks serious public gossip about, fidelity. But fast forward to the marriage years and things started getting, let's just say, weirder. Despite the couple's long history of reaffirming their love publicly, including, birthday posts, anniversary shoutouts, sources more recently paint a picture of strain. People close to Biel reportedly feel that Timberlake is not doing enough to actively contribute to fixing problems, even though his work plate isn't overloaded. So that's a telling detail, a husband who appears too busy for growth in his marriage, even when he has time. Then there's the matter of distance, emotional and otherwise. One report described Biel and Timberlake as being like day and night, as if they just don't relate to each other the way they once did. And, if that weren't enough, some outlets even floated the possibility that this marriage, already public and complicated, could be in a precarious place, with gossip fueling speculation around a potential split down the road. Meanwhile, Timberlake, been handling his own personal curveballs too. Widely covered DWI arrest in 2024 embarrassed the whole family. It was in public, it added stress, and reportedly didn't win him any brownie points at home. So let's be clear, this isn't just tabloid, fever or whatever. Multiple outlets have reported on marital strain and lack of intimacy between Jessica and Justin, even after years together. Jessica's frustration at Justin's perceived lack of effort to improve things, energy and connection issues they've publicly, been described as facing, and ongoing speculation that this isn't a settled, happy Hollywood marriage story, the way PR might want you to think it is. But here's the twist. Every time rumors wind up circling, the drain, Justin and Jessica both come out with statements or public posts about how committed they are, how much they love each other, and how they're working through it. That's the Hollywood duality, struggle behind the scenes, positivity on the surface. So what's really going on? Is Jessica Biel quietly reevaluating her marriage to a man who makes headlines for scandal more than romance? Is Justin Timberlake quietly trying to fix things but losing traction with time and missteps? Honestly, probably a bit of both, just like many relationships not happening under the spotlight of millions every day. At the end of the day, a marriage can never just be about the glamorous photos, and in this case, the report suggests the gloss might be hiding a lot more conflict, frustration, and emotional distance than fans ever expected. Is Kristen Bell trapped in a toxic marriage? Let's dig into it. Lock in with me. The internet just collectively short-circuited after she casually said something that absolutely detonated her carefully curated Hollywood healthy marriage image. Now, Kristen Bell, America's quirky, relatable sweetheart, openly admitted that she doesn't really care if her husband, Dax Shepard, cheats on her. And no, she didn't whisper it in like a therapy session. She said it out loud in an interview like it was a normal Tuesday thought. And the moment that sentence left her mouth, well, people stopped hearing nuance and started hearing sirens. Her logic was basically this: humans are attracted to other humans. Marriage doesn't doesn't magically turn your eyes off, and pretending otherwise is kind of delusional. She framed it as honesty, emotional maturity, and realism. The internet framed it as blink twice if you're trapped. Because let's be real for a second, when a woman says she wouldn't care if her husband cheated on her, people don't hear confidence, they hear resignation, they hear coping, they hear someone who's talked themselves into accepting less than they deserve, especially when that husband is Dax Shepard, a man who has openly talked about his past cheating, substance dependency issues, and just emotional chaos for literal years on his podcast. So timing did her absolutely no favors either, because this comment resurfaced right after Kristen posted that deeply uncomfortable anniversary message where she joked that Dax once said he would never unalive her, even though he had every incentive to. And yes, she probably meant it as dark humor, but the internet read it and collectively went, girl, are you okay, honestly? People were not laughing, they were concerned. And when you combine that post with her cheating comments, suddenly it stopped sounding like edgy humor and started sounding like someone normalizing dysfunction because it's easier than unpacking it. And that's where the toxic marriage conversation really kicked off. Even recently on a podcast, Dax admitted that he enjoys flirting with other people, and his close friend Monica Padman, who was the host of the podcast, told him, maybe you lost that right when you got married. He responded, well, in typical Dax Shepard way, saying he basically just likes to flirt. Okay, so Kristen and Dax have always branded themselves as brutally honest, therapy-obsessed, self-aware adults who fight hard but love harder. They've talked openly about, screaming matches, resentment, attraction to other people, and the constant work it takes to stay together. But there's a fine line between transparency and oversharing, to the point where people start questioning whether you're actually happy or just committed to the narrative of being real. Kristen tried to clarify that she wasn't saying cheating is okay, just that attraction is inevitable, and it's what you do with it that matters. But here's the issue. That explanation only works when your relationship doesn't already have visible cracks, when the public already knows your partner has a history of cheating. That clarification stops sounding philosophical and starts sounding like pre-forgiveness, and Dax didn't exactly help. I mean, instead of shutting it down cleanly, he kind of leaned into jokes, sarcasm, and podcast-style deflection, which only fueled the idea that this marriage survives on humor instead of boundaries. He even had to publicly clarify that they're not swingers, they're not in an open marriage, and not quietly redefining monogamy behind closed doors, because rumors had spiraled that far. But here's the uncomfortable part nobody actually wants to say out loud, but I will. Sometimes people normalize behavior not because they're enlightened, but because accepting it feels safer than confronting the possibility that your needs aren't being met. Kristen's comment didn't sound like someone empowered by trust, it sounded like someone emotionally detaching from a scenario because engaging with it would just hurt entirely too much. There's also a power imbalance people ignore. Kristen Bell is widely successful, yes, but she's also an emotional stabilizer in the relationship. She's the caretaker, the communicator, the one constantly framing chaos as character, and when that person says they wouldn't care if their partner cheated on them, it raises a bigger question. Who is doing the compromising and who is benefiting from it? This isn't about judging how people structure their marriages, it's about optics, patterns, and what happens when being chill starts looking a lot like emotional self-abandonment. Kristen might genuinely feel secure enough not to spiral over a hypothetical, or she might be doing what a lot of women do when they love someone complicated, redefining expectations so they hurt less when they're violated. And the reason this went viral isn't because people hate her, it's because they recognize the dynamic. They've seen it, they've lived it, they've told themselves the same stories to survive toxic relationships that ask them to bend further than they ever should have. Whether Kristen wants to admit it or not, the red flags aren't hypotheticals, they've been public for years.
Divorce rumors are exploding around Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra after one viral Golden Globes clip, and social media is losing it. So let's dig in. Here's what kicked off. At the 2026 Golden Globes, Nick Jonas was caught stepping outside mid-show alone. In a viral video, the internet instantly flipped over. Fans started screaming, "Something's wrong," and of course, divorce rumors hit at warp speed. But wait, before the rumor mill goes full meltdown, Nick actually explained why he walked out. He said the awards show noise triggered his social anxiety, hitting him like a gut punch, and fans actually rallied behind him for speaking openly about it. Now, of course, some corners of the internet did not wait for facts. Clips of Nick alone sparked comments like "divorce coming soon," and strangers online began breaking down their body language like amateur therapists. One user even tweeted that their chemistry looked non-existent, saying Nick looked annoyed while Priyanka looked confused. That's the fuel that ignites the headline fire. And let's rewind, as this isn't the first time people have read too much into this couple. At the 2025 Met Gala, body language experts and social media detectives claimed that their red carpet energy was tense, awkward, and less romantic than usual. Experts said they looked strained, less tactile, tactile and not as playful as we're used to, and fans immediately spun that into Trouble in Paradise. And years before all of this, relationship analysts listed some supposed red flags, like Nick sometimes photographed without his wedding ring, and the couple spending weeks apart due to work commitments. But here's the catch. Experts also point out many reasons this doesn't mean divorce, like how they still show affection publicly, support each other's careers, and celebrate being a family. Not everything is doom and gloom, but gossip culture loves distraction. Now, back at the Golden Globes, Nick didn't disappear for a romantic escape from Priyanka. He literally took a breather due to social anxiety, which he linked to his new song Gut Punch, as he discussed before in relation to his mental health. Meanwhile, Priyanka slayed the red carpet in custom Dior, fixed his bow tie in a cute moment, and later shared behind-the-scenes date night vibes on social media. But of course, some fans can't see that without twisting it into a headline. So why is the internet so ready to write them off? Part of it's simply celebrity culture. People love seeing a perfect couple fall apart. Plus, long work schedules, different cultural backgrounds, and past bouts of awkward body language keep fueling speculation online, despite no confirmed breakup. Comment threads are wild, with fans dissecting every photo, video, and split-second moment, a reminder that fans can create drama faster than Hollywood publicists can stomp it out. But let's look at the actual moments from them. Nick and Priyanka walking the carpet together, Priyanka adjusting his tie playfully, romantic getaway clips on Instagram where they're clearly affectionate. That doesn't scream divorce imminent, it screams Hollywood couple under a microscope.
Starting off this countdown, we have Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. This celebrity couple met on set of That 70s Show. They were a couple on screen and eventually off screen as well. In fact, Mila said that her first real kiss was with Ashton Kutcher, and now they're happily married with 2 kids, Wyatt and Dimitri. But I'm sure you have heard about the controversy recently involving them and their kids. While appearing on an episode of Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, the topic somehow got onto bathing, and they revealed that they weren't too concerned on bathing their kids. Mila said, and I quote, "I wasn't that parent that bathed my newborns." Kutcher continued on saying, and I quote, "If you can see the dirt on them, clean them. Otherwise, there's no point." This caused an uproar, and people started hating on the couple for not taking care of their kids properly. I personally love the two. It's cute how they went from dating in the show to dating in real life to then getting married. And honestly, they are great people and parents from what I can see. Moving on at number 9, we have Katy Perry and Russell Brand. This relationship had toxic written all over it. So the pair first met at the MTV Video Music Awards in 2008. After 3 months of dating, Brand proposed to Katy while vacationing in India. But this relationship had a number of problems. Apparently, they would get into fights about everything, from her partying to when they were going to have children to his stand-up jokes. You get it. Not only that, but apparently Brand was often jealous of Perry's success and felt like he was living in her shadow. In Katy Perry's Part of Me documentary, it showed her curled up and crying in her dressing room on a number of occasions after having fights with Brand. Katy also called him controlling. In the end, Brand broke it off with her through a text message and said that his relationship with Katy was boring and compared it to being on a diet of white rice. That's rude. So people were open to the relationship at first, but as months passed, they were not here for it at all. They didn't like how they got married so fast and knew he didn't treat her the best. Moving on to number 8, we have Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Sam Taylor-Johnson. Now, the reason why this couple received so much hate is because of their age difference. So the pair met on set of the film Nowhere Boy in 2008. Aaron played the lead and Sam was the director. A year later, the two were engaged. But Aaron was 18 at the time that they met and Sam was 42. With a 24-year age gap, fans were thinking the worst about Sam and her intentions with Aaron. Years later, the couple are still going strong. In fact, just recently they both got tattoos on the left side of their chest with each other's name on it. So, suck it haters, sorry, but this pair is here to stay. In our 7th spot, we have Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Talk about a controversial relationship. This relationship had drama written all over it. So apparently the two first got together in 2012 while Kim was still in the middle of getting her divorce with Chris Humphries all figured out. Then in December of 2012, Kim revealed that she was pregnant and the two were expecting their first child together. Fast forward to now. The pair now has 4 children together and their marriage is rocky. According to the Keeping Up with the Kardashians show, the pair have been fighting for a while. From fights over Kim refusing to give Kanye a band-aid, to Kanye feeling neglected, to him not liking her Met Gala dress, saying it's far too revealing, you name it. They would fight several times a day, but the final straw apparently was a couple months ago when Kanye started acting more erratic. He accused Kim and Chris on Twitter and exposed that him and Kim were contemplating having an abortion when she was pregnant with North West. Honestly, people were concerned about the relationship and their clashing egos from the start. And rumor has it that Kim was preparing the divorce papers since 2018. Moving on to number 6, we have Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra. Another very attractive couple, but they have received a lot of hate. The pair first started talking in 2016 after Nick slid into her Twitter DMs. How romantic. But it took 2 years before the two made it official in May of 2018 after confirming that they were dating. After just 2 months of dating, yes, 2 months, Nick proposed. By December of that year, they were married. No one was expecting that. It all happened way too fast. In fact, some people believe that they aren't even a real couple. It's all just for show. They also have received hate for their age gap. Priyanka is 36 and Nick is 26. Again, love is love despite age, but whatever. Not only that, people think they married each other just to boost their brands. But what do you think about the relationship? Are you here for it or not? We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with Beyonce and Jay-Z. I think people hate this pair because they think that Beyonce can do way better, especially after Jay-Z admitted to cheating on her. Like, you're with Beyonce! She's gorgeous and talented, why would you ever cheat on her? Anyways, the pair seemed to hit a rough patch in 2014 after Beyonce's sister got in a fight with Jay-Z and punched him in an elevator after the Met Ball. The footage was soon leaked and people were like, ooh, what did Jay-Z do? Later it was revealed that the fight was because of Jay-Z's affair with Rachel Roy. People were like, Beyonce doesn't deserve this. No one cheats on our queen. And that's why people don't like them together. Moving on to number 4, we have Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber. Okay, here we go, folks. Hardcore Jelena superfans were outraged when Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin got together. For them, Hailey was getting in the way of Justin and Selena getting back together. They just refused to accept that they both have moved on. Apart from the Jelena shippers, others aren't too fond on how Justin treats Hailey. In April of 2021, Justin and Hailey were caught by the paparazzi going to a cafe. When they arrived, Justin gets out of the car and then slams the door in Hailey's face. Awkward. Another time, the pair were on Instagram Live together, and he told Hailey to back off and stop touching him after she gave him a hug. So people were getting snappy saying the two are not a good pair for each other, that he needs to treat Hailey better. In our 3rd spot today, we have Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. I think most of the hate that this couple receives is from die-hard Mendes fans that are mad that he's taken because they thought that they had a shot with him. Anyways, the pair were first photographed together at the 2015 VMAs. They then met again the same year at the iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas. And that's when she went into his dressing room to say hi and talk. The cuties made it official in, I believe, 2019. And they are apparently still going strong. But the pair did receive some backlash in February of 2021 when Mendes posted a picture of Camila on Instagram for Valentine's Day. In the photo, he was kissing her foot, and the comments on this photo were harsh. They were calling him disgusting and their relationship cringy. Yikes. In our 2nd spot, we have Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell. Honestly, my mom and dad. They're both talented actors and they're hilarious. But unfortunately, the pair has received their fair share of hate. First off, the two are very open about their relationship. In September of 2020, the two shared a story and photo on Instagram that had a lot of people shocked. It shows him and Belle in a car and she's bent over a bottle. Turns out she was actually peeing in this bottle, which, I mean, for a girl to do, that's hella impressive. He captioned the photo on Instagram and I quote, "The most important part of this photo isn't that my bride at Kristen Annie Bell is peeing in the car. It's that the car is 36 hours old. So much disrespect that I almost have to respect it." People were like, okay, why would they tell us this? TMI. Belle went on to explain that she doesn't F with public restrooms during a pandemic. Then we have the beer controversy. Dax was struggling with his addiction on and off. So he doesn't drink beer, but he does enjoy a good old non-alcoholic beer. Apparently, they let their daughters drink it too. I know it's non-alcoholic, but their kids are 6 and 8, and it doesn't seem like the most appropriate thing for them to be drinking. So people got mad at them for that as well. And of course, they also admitted that they don't regularly bathe their kids as well. I mean, I love them together, screw the haters. And in our #1 spot today, we have Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. They are a good looking couple, not gonna lie. But their behavior at the VMAs on September 12th was just downright cringy. It all started during Megan's interview with Entertainment Tonight. She was talking about Machine Gun Kelly and how he helped pick out her outfit. She said, he was like, "You're gonna be naked tonight." And I was like, "Whatever you say." She then continued on, calling him daddy, and then said, "Whatever daddy says." That's not all though. The interviewer asked her if the two would be collaborating in Machine Gun Kelly's future music videos. And she said, and I quote, "He's not allowed to have other hoes in his music videos. It's the queen or nothing." Alright then. Then of course the two were all over each other during the event, touching and kissing each other, you name it. Another cringy moment for the pair was when Megan posted a photo of herself on Instagram from their Airbnb the two were staying at. The caption was, "When I tell you that the table at this Airbnb saw some things." Machine Gun Kelly replied with, "I'm glad that's not our table." So we all know what they did on that table, okay? But come on, we don't need to know about it. At number 10, Cardi B and Offset. Cardi and Offset have been on and off for so long, and people honestly wonder why they're even still together. They've gone through their share of rough patches, specifically infidelity. Though they've been married for over 3 years and have 2 kids together, that apparently hasn't stopped Offset from seeking comfort elsewhere, and Cardi even filed for divorce from Offset in 2020 because of his infidelity, though they later got back together after he spoiled her for her birthday, buying her a $300,000 car and dedicating a billboard to her. Offset has had a number of cheating scandals over the course of his relationship with Cardi. In 2018, about a year after the couple got married in secret, Offset faced rumors that he had cheated on Cardi and even allegedly made an adult film with another woman. Back in 2020, he faced even more cheating scandals where it was rumored that he even fathered a child during this affair. A lot of people say that this is a toxic relationship, but they keep coming back to each other, and that's why people don't like them. They are toxic, and people say that they're just hurting each other and themselves by staying together. At number 9, Joe Exotic and John Finlay. With the success of the Tiger King documentary on Netflix last year, a surprising amount of people became temporarily obsessed with the lives of those who were showcased on the show. Joe Exotic and the others involved in his life became public figures, and there are a number of people who are still interested in their lives, specifically in their relationships. One of the relationships showcased in the show was the marriage between Joe and his ex-husband, John Finlay. John recently came forward to talk about his life after the documentary brought him some minor popularity, and he exposed his former relationship with the now imprisoned Big Cat owner and exposed his marriage. John cannot express enough how regretful he is of his marriage to Joe Exotic. John said that his whole marriage was fake and that it was just for Joe's popularity, remarking that the wedding that was shown in the documentary, which showed him, Joe, and Travis Maldonado, was all, quote, basically a publicity stunt so that Joe could get his own reality TV series. John spoke out saying that he still carries the pain from his time with Joe, and fans have expressed how much they disliked their marriage because of how much pain John was put through. After hearing John's testimony, it kind of makes it easy to hate them too. Now before I carry on talking about more celebrity couples that people aren't too thrilled about, I would first like to take a moment to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and also maybe consider subscribing to see more videos like this one. At number 8, Madonna and Guy Ritchie. Even though this relationship ended about a decade ago, that doesn't stop people from hating the time that Madonna and Guy Ritchie were together. The two were married in a very toxic relationship for almost a decade, but their distaste for one another has lasted much longer. And because of this negativity, they, as well as their fans, no doubt regret them ever being married in the first place. It seems like their marriage turned sour because Madonna was trying to work so hard in her career, and so things became strained between them and the hostility began to grow. Coming out of the divorce, the worst of it started to come out. Guy made a lot of harsh comments about his marriage to Madonna, comparing his relationship to the singer to a soap opera, and also said that she was more concerned with her public image than she was with their marriage. Madonna has fired back at her ex in the past, saying that she felt like she was incarcerated during their marriage and that Guy was nothing but a gold digger. There's just a whole lot of drama there, which really shows that they weren't a good match at all. The way that they spoke about each other in the media just made people really hate them because neither of them deserved that kind of negativity in their lives. At number 7, Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. I'm sure you can guess why people don't like these two. Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson have had a very difficult relationship.
Things were apparently toxic from the very beginning, since it was believed that Tristan was cheating on his ex with Khloe when they first got together, so the infidelity in their relationship was apparent from the get-go. A lot of people saw the red flags from the beginning, but that didn't stop them from trying to make things work, even after Khloe got pregnant with Tristan's baby. Shortly after their daughter True was born, photos of Tristan appearing to cheat were leaked, and TMZ leaked footage from 2017 showing Tristan kissing women at a club. This was a huge deal, especially as this all came out around the time of their daughter's birth, but what surprised a lot of people is how quickly Khloe got over it. Things mostly died down after a few weeks, but later on in 2019, more cheating allegations came out detailing how he had been cheating on Khloe again, this time with their longtime family friend Jordyn Woods. This whole toxic mess had a lot of people hating on the both of them, and since they've apparently gotten back together, even more people have jumped on the hate bandwagon trying to get them apart for good. At number 6, Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. Another Kardashian relationship that a lot of people hate is that between Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. Though they're no longer a couple, they still have a family together, and that doesn't take away from their rocky relationship beforehand. Some people consider their relationship to be the most toxic Kardashian coupling. Kourtney and Scott had been on and off again since 2006, and even though they've broken up so many times, they just couldn't seem to distance themselves from each other enough. The pair co-parent their 3 kids, but they also cause a lot of drama whether they're together or not. In the past, Scott has cheated on Kourtney, and even when they were broken up, has said that he's dated other women, specifically those much younger than him, only to make Kourtney jealous, which is pretty toxic behavior. Kourtney and Scott also struggled with Scott's substance abuse problem, with Kourt going so far as to tell Scott that if he didn't get help, she wouldn't allow him to see their kids, and for a long time, Scott refused to get help. Things finally ended for good in 2015 when Scott was accused of cheating with one of his exes, and Kourtney just had enough of his infidelity. From that point, they haven't been in an official relationship, but they haven't kept their distance either. Kourtney is currently in a relationship with Travis Barker and seems to be really happy, so hopefully she's moved past her drama with Scott and can live peacefully, because no one likes them together and she deserves better. At number 5, Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. Continuing on with horrible Kardashian relationships, we have the toxic pairing of Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. Though their relationship was pretty short-lived, they were still messy, toxic, and very public, and a lot of people really hated them together. The two got together in January 2016, and just a few months later in April of that year, they announced their engagement, and fast forward to November 2016, they welcomed their daughter Dream into the world. Things ended as quickly as they started, and by February of 2017, they announced that they had split after trying to make things work for the sake of their daughter. During their relationship, they showed fans a glimpse into their lives as part of their reality show, Rob & Chyna, and during this time, sources said that they fought a lot, their actions were fueled by anger and revenge, and there was even allegations of domestic altercations. This toxicity wasn't just exclusive to their relationship, however, as it also bled into the Kardashian family as well. It was just really messy and negative, and a lot of fans hated them together. At number 4, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Though they became a well-liked couple after a while, at the beginning of Brad and Angelina's relationship, they were pretty hated because of how they got together. Before Brangelina, Brad and Jennifer Aniston were a couple. After 2 years of dating, they got married in 2000 on a bluff in Malibu. Things were okay until Angelina came into the picture after she and Brad met while working on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Fast forward to 2005 and throw in some cheating speculation, and Brad and Jennifer were done. They filed for divorce, making room for Brangelina. It was a whirlwind breakup because of cheating scandals, as Angie became the other woman of sorts, and even as things died down over the years, tabloids would still bring up this drama from time to time, almost making it seem as though things weren't exactly over for this unfortunate love triangle. It took a while for people to warm up to Brad and Angelina, and they were pretty hated by a lot of Jennifer Aniston's fans. At number 3, Emma Roberts and Evan Peters. American Horror Story stars Emma Roberts and Evan Peters had a very tumultuous relationship that unfolded in the public eye, and a lot of people were not here for it. Though they have both since moved on from each other, there was a time when their toxic relationship took over their lives and fans hated it. They started dating in 2012 and had their shares of ups and downs, breakups and makeups, until they officially ended things in 2019. Their relationship had its faults. People say that their attitudes towards each other would change a lot, going from having a lovely time together to not speaking to each other for days. In 2013, they faced a scandal after Emma was arrested after the couple got into a heated argument that turned physical. Though the incident left Evan with a bloody nose, they tried to move past it and carry on with their relationship. They weren't at all a good couple, and a lot of fans knew that too. Many of them were relieved when they broke up because they didn't deserve that negativity and toxicity in their lives. At number 2, Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears. Even though people loved this couple in their heyday, after Justin Timberlake was exposed this year after the truth came out about his toxic relationship and breakup with Britney Spears back in the early 2000s, people switched gears and started to really hate their time together. The Framing Britney Spears documentary that was released took a deep dive into the way that the pop star was portrayed in the media, from paparazzi to interviews. A big part of that documentary explored Justin Timberlake's role in the media's mistreatment of Britney. After their relationship ended, Justin made Britney look like the villain in the relationship, accusing her of cheating and essentially weaponizing their breakup just to boost his career. The media went on a frenzy, blaming and shaming her when she really didn't deserve it, and it really affected her life. People's eyes were opened into just how toxic their relationship and subsequent breakup was, and a lot of sympathy has been given towards Britney as the truth has finally come out about the whole thing. The narrative was just switched, and people grew to hate Justin Timberlake for how things ended between him and Britney. And finally, at number 1, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Now this one is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, we all know why we hate the relationship that Amber and Johnny had. Though the narrative has been changed following the knowledge that we now have about what really happened between them, the bottom line is that people hate the fact that they were ever together. There were instances of physical turmoil as well as verbal and emotional as well, and finding out about this opened a lot of people's eyes. We found out about how Amber had been cheating on Johnny and how she allegedly went out of her way to outshine him in the industry, always being ready to make big headlines to overshadow him. This toxic relationship went on far too long, showing us that the toxicity ran deep and made a mess of everything. Here we go again with more questionable couples. Between cheating scandals, old tea being exposed, and just the overall impression of their relationships, there are a lot of couples that people just love to hate. I'm back with some more people to talk about, so let's get into our list of the top 10 celebrity couples that everyone hates part 3. At number 10, Eminem and Kim Mathers. When it comes to back and forth celebrity relationship drama, fans can get really tired of it after a while, so that could be the reason why people hated it when Eminem and Kim were together. Rapper Eminem, aka Marshall Mathers, has had a rocky relationship with his ex-wife Kim Scott, and it's sort of been that way since the very beginning. They first met in the late 80s when Marshall was 15 and Kim was 13, and they became pretty dependent of each other from the start. They lived together at his family home and later began a romantic relationship, moving in together and having a daughter. After years of being an on and off again couple, the two got married shortly before Marshall's first major tour. It was then that Kim saw Marshall and their relationship as imperfect, and she started to doubt whether she wanted this type of life for herself. Kim said that after the tour, Marshall got a big ego and he started treating her as someone not worthy of his love and presence because he was a big star. Kim also alleged that her husband had been cheating on her. The rapper's career had a very negative effect on their relationship, and so 2 years after tying the knot, they got divorced. They did get back together again briefly, but that ended again. This drama made a lot of fans' heads spin, so it's no wonder why people have negative things to say about these two. At number 9, Janet Jackson and James DeBarge. Now, I'm not sure if everyone hated this relationship, but there was certainly one person in particular who really did not approve. Janet Jackson experienced her first taste of married life when she was only 18 years old when she married James DeBarge in 1984, but their marriage only lasted about a year. Before getting married, they were pretty good friends, and Janet had been friends with James since she was 13 years old. It seems as though they had been in love for a while, and so they took the first opportunity they had to get married. Though Janet's father Joe did not approve of the marriage, they went through with it anyway and were together for 15 months. After they split up, there had been a rumor swirling around that alleged that Janet and James had a child, but they gave it up for adoption in order to save their careers and public image after James brought all of this up in 2016. It's never been proven, but it still remains a wild theory. Janet eventually ended up getting their marriage annulled because of James' substance abuse as it began to take a toll on their relationship. I would imagine that Janet's dad also played a role in getting this marriage annulled since he was completely against it in the first place. Now, before I carry on talking about why people hate these couples so much, why not leave us a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and while you're at it, maybe even smash that subscribe button to see more videos like this one. At number 8, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. I remember when Selena and Justin were the talk of the town. Everyone was obsessed with their relationship, always asking them questions about their lives together, and news sources were always covering the drama that was going going on with them. They started dating in 2011 when they were still teenagers, and from that point they had a rocky time together, which is why years after they've broken up, some fans have grown to hate their relationship because of how toxic it was. Already people were pretty aware of how toxic Selena and Justin's relationship was simply because of how many times they had public breakups and makeups, but in early 2020, Selena came forward to talk more in depth about their relationship and the negativity that she faced. Selena said that she was, quote, a victim of certain mistreatments, saying that what she felt was emotional mistreatment from Justin. She also went on to say that it took her a long time to find strength in her experiences and to shake her, quote, victim mentality. Justin in late 2019 did open up about his actions in past relationships, saying that he became, quote, resentful, disrespectful to women, and angry. Clearly there was a lot of negativity going on, so people really did not like the fact that they were together. At number 7, Tina and Ike Turner. Ike and Tina Turner were a powerhouse couple in the eyes of the media as well as the fans at first, but behind the scenes things were messy and toxic, and once that became publicly known, people started to really hate the relationship. Ike and Tina first met while Tina was still a teenager, and soon they hit it off and started performing together. Soon their duo catapulted them to stardom, bringing them a lot of success, but because they were so close, things got really toxic. They got married in 1962 and stayed together for the following decade, but Tina was living her life in pain. In her book, Tina wrote about how Ike was a toxic partner, saying, quote, he threw hot coffee in my face, giving me third-degree burns. He used my nose as a punching bag so many times that I could taste blood running down my throat when I sang. He broke my jaw. I couldn't remember what it was like to not have a black eye. End quote. Things got so bad that Tina wanted to end her own life, but thankfully she survived her attempt and used her survival as fuel to get the strength to leave Ike and this toxic life behind. After this horrible relationship was exposed, fans started to rethink their support of this relationship completely. At number 6, Mel Gibson and Oksana Grigorova. Mel Gibson is probably one of the most hated people in Hollywood, so it's no surprise that his relationship would be hated too. Mel was in a toxic relationship with his former partner Oksana Grigorova, and so many people hated it. The two had a very messy breakup in 2010, and at this time an audio recording came out that showed Mel yelling at Oksana and saying horrible things to her about her body because he was mad that she allegedly lied to him about getting breast implants. In the recording, Mel was heard saying things like how he hated the way that she looked, claiming that she looked provocative and inappropriate, and even saying that if she were to be taken advantage of, that it would be her fault for looking the way that she did. This was a nasty, swear word ridden rant that honestly no one deserves to hear. If this recording didn't paint enough of a toxic picture, then I don't know what would. This made people hate this relationship even more than before. At number 5, Mike Tyson and Robin Givens. This relationship was pretty controversial at the time and sort of still is because people really don't know whose side that they want to take, but either way it was toxic and hated by a lot of people. Back in the late 80s, Mike Tyson was dating model Robin Givens. Shortly after they started dating, Robin announced that she was pregnant with Mike's child, and so he married her to, quote, do the right thing. Mike had given Robin and her mother $15 million in order to get themselves settled in a nice house, and it seemed like Mike took care of them. But after a few months passed, Mike noticed that Robin's pregnancy wasn't progressing, and that's when she told him that she had actually lost the baby months prior and just didn't tell him. He was hurt by this discovery but still stayed by her side. It wasn't until their famous Barbara Walters interview came out that things really cracked for the couple and got really toxic. The interview was originally supposed to be an exclusive with Mike, but apparently before things got started, Robin had pulled Barbara to the side to tell her that she had some things that she wanted to say, and then proceeded to speak out about how Mike had allegedly been hurting her, saying that she was mistreated in the relationship. They divorced soon after, but people believe that the whole truth wasn't uncovered. Sources say that Robin was manipulating Mike and that things had been toxic because of her, but Mike just let it go. This was all over the place, so a lot of people just don't know what to think of it. At number 4, Axl Rose and Erin Everly. The tumultuous relationship of Axl Rose and Erin Everly is one that was pretty hated after allegations started to come out about what went on behind the scenes. Axl and Erin met in the early days of Axl's career, and soon they became inseparable. Erin became one of the most important people in Axl's life, being the inspiration for the song Sweet Child of Mine, and things looked good on the outside. Despite being a good-looking match on the outside though, they had a tumultuous relationship. Even through all of that though, they still ended up getting married in a Las Vegas ceremony in 1990. According to Erin, Axel actually threatened to harm himself if she didn't marry him, so things were already off to a rocky start. The marriage was annulled in 1991, just 9 months after getting married, and in 94, Erin filed a civil lawsuit against Axel, where she alleged that she was hurt by her then husband. After that information came out, people started to hate the fact that this relationship was praised for so long. At number 3, Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Prince Charles and Princess Diana were once considered one of the most beloved celebrity couples, and the world loved them. Well, they loved Diana, but soon they became hated because of the rumors surrounding Charles's extramarital affairs. Behind closed doors, Diana was sad and neglected by her husband, but no one knew that until later on. She was always second best in Charles's eyes, having never gotten over his infatuation for Camilla Parker Bowles, a woman that he was told he could never have. Diana regretted marrying Charles because she always knew that there would be 3 in the marriage: her, Charles, and Camilla. So when they got divorced, she was finally free, and the people turned on Charles for being so cruel to Diana. So I guess the people didn't necessarily hate the relationship as a whole, just Charles. At number 2, Chris Brown and Rihanna. One of the most toxic relationships out there was that between Chris Brown and Rihanna, and everyone grew to hate it. No one is quick to forget the incident that happened after the pre-Grammys party in 2009. On the night before the Grammy Awards, Chris and Rihanna got into a serious physical altercation which left Rihanna hospitalized from her injuries. Chris was labeled as a monster for what he did that night. A police investigation was conducted. As a result, he was sentenced to 5 years probation and 6 months community service. A lot of people believe that he should have been given a harsher sentence because of how severely he hurt his girlfriend, and he received a lot of hate. People use this as an example to show people that these relationships should not be so praised, and it caused a lot of people to rethink their support. And finally, at number 1, Saweetie and Quavo. No one really acknowledged it until recently, but singer Saweetie and Quavo had a toxic relationship. Shortly after announcing their breakup, footage was leaked which showed the former couple fighting in an elevator. The footage showed the two of them in a physical altercation, showing Saweetie trying to strike Quavo, a suitcase being thrown, Quavo falling on top of his girlfriend, and ending with Saweetie limping away. Though the footage was from a year ago, it gave people a very different perspective on how the relationship was at the time, and fans started to hate the relationship. Both Saweetie and Quavo have said that they've moved on from the incident, but some fans still haven't moved on from this because they don't want to ever see them try and rekindle that toxicity again.
Starting off, we have Ariana Grande. Singer, songwriter, and actress Ariana Grande married Dalton Gomez in May 2021, but just after 2 years of marriage, Ariana and Dalton called it quits. In July 2023, a source told People that the pair separated earlier in the year and have been quietly and lovingly working on their friendship since. Now, just days before their split was announced, Ariana was seen without her engagement ring and her wedding band. Ariana officially filed for divorce from Dalton in September 2023, with him filing a response immediately following. But it has been revealed that the reason for the divorce was that Ariana cheated on Dalton with her Wicked co-star, Ethan Slater. But here's the thing, Ethan was also married and had a child. His now ex-wife Lily, who's since been openly critical of Ari, apparently visited Ethan on the Wicked set in April with their infant son. The following month, Ethan gushed about her in a Mother's Day Instagram post, but by July 26, he had officially filed for divorce. Now, their timeline is a little more messy, but there was definitely some infidelity involved here. Now, this has had the internet up in arms about Ariana now dating SpongeBob, as Ethan played him in the live-action musical. Up next is Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson has cheated on Khloe Kardashian many times, so here's a brief synopsis of their relationship. In 2016, Khloe and Tristan started dating, and in spring of 2018, Khloe and Tristan were getting ready to welcome their first child together when photos and videos were released of him kissing other women. A couple days after the reports came out, Khloe welcomed their daughter True, but then TMZ then posted a video from earlier in October 2017 that appeared to show Tristan kissing 2 other women at a hookah lounge. More cheating allegations surfaced from there, including in January 2019 when it was revealed that Tristan had kissed Kylie Jenner's close friend, Jordan Woods. It was then confirmed that Tristan and Khloe were dating again in August 2020, and they called it quits again in June 2021. Now, in December 2021, news broke that Tristan was involved in a paternity suit with personal trainer Maralee Nichols, and in January 2022, he revealed he was the father. Now, in July that year, multiple sources confirmed that Khloe and Tristan were expecting another child with the help of a surrogate. Now, the surrogate was already pregnant with the child when the news broke of Tristan's paternity scandal. Now, they kept the pregnancy a secret as long as they could to protect Khloe, and after the child was born, it seems like they are co-parenting but not together. Khloe gave him so many chances and he took advantage of that, and I truly hope that she doesn't give him another one, because at this point, it's just sad. On to Adam Levine. In 2012, Adam Levine began dating Behati Prinsloo, and they married in 2014, and in September 2022, it was reported that they were expecting their third child together. But shortly after, Instagram model Sumner Stroh posted a TikTok video claiming that she had an affair with Adam that lasted for about a year. Screenshots and video recordings were used as proof, and in one screenshot, Adam was seen asking for permission to use her first name for his unborn child, which is just insane. Now, Adam denied cheating, but from the screenshots of the messages going around, it's pretty clear that he was. The day after the allegations, Adam took to Instagram to say that he messed up, he didn't have an affair, but that he crossed a line. Since then, two additional women, Alison Rousseff and Markea, later came forward with screenshots of flirty messages the singer had sent them, and a third woman, his former yoga teacher, accused him of texting her that he wanted to spend the day with her naked. Now, a fourth woman came out as well, and she told the Daily Mail that he would like and comment on her fitness stories, usually about her having the best butt in town. Now, this story was everywhere, and the whole internet turned against Adam. Then there's Ned Fulmer. One of the members of the internet group The Try Guys was exposed for cheating on his wife in late 2022. Ned Fulmer was the I love my wife guy, but in September 2022, he was exposed as a cheater. TikTokers posted photo evidence of what appeared to be Ned kissing one of his producers, Alex Herring. A fan also posted an Instagram photo with her and Ned, captioning it that she saw Ned and Alex together at a Harry Styles concert at the beginning of September. Rumors and proof were gathered, and later near the end of September, Ned confirmed that he had cheated on his wife, publicly apologized, and then got kicked out of the Try Guys. Now, the affair had been going on for a while, as after all of this was exposed, another TikToker came forward saying that she spotted Ned kissing another woman and that she had some videos and photos of them. She said she messaged Ned's wife Ariel to make her aware, but Ariel never saw the messages. Let's talk about Gerard Piqué. In June 2022, it was reported that Shakira had recently dumped her partner of more than a decade, Gerard Piqué, after she caught him with another woman. The singer and the soccer star, who share two sons, soon confirmed their split, though they kept mum on the infidelity allegations. Now, that changed in January 2023 though, when Shakira released a diss track that included lyrics taking shot at Gerard and his new girlfriend, who's 12 years younger than him. "You're acting so weird, I don't even recognize you. I'm worth two 22-year-olds, Shakira sings. Now, she then went on to insult his intelligence, but there is more. Reports also surfaced claiming Shakira was clued into the cheating because she returned home after a trip to discover that someone had eaten some of the jam she kept in the fridge in the home she shared with Gerard. He and their sons all hated jam, so it had to be someone else who ate it, and that was the girl he cheated on her with. Now, that's a pretty good way to find out that someone is cheating on you. All I gotta say is iconic. Moving on to Amy Robach and TJ Holmes. Amy Robach and TJ Holmes were co-hosts of Good Morning America 3, What You Need to Know, and they had worked together since TJ joined the show in the year 2020. Now, at the end of 2022, the Daily Mail published photos of the co-workers taken across several outings, from getting drinks at a New York City bar to loading up a car at a cottage upstate. It was confirmed that they were cheating on their significant others. Now, neither of the broadcasters immediately addressed the photos or revealed whether they had split from their respective spouses. Now, TJ had been married to his wife for 12 years, and Amy was married to her husband for 12 years as well. Now, in January 2023, the couple decided to walk away from their positions as co-anchors after being caught in their affair scandal. Interestingly enough though, in December 2023, it was reported that their former spouses were dating each other. Now, that is just a strange twist to this story. story. Now we have Tom Sandoval. Us confirmed in March 2023 that Tom and Ariana Madix split after nearly 10 years together after he cheated with their Vanderpump Rules co-star Raquel Leviss. Apparently Ariana learned about the affair when Tom and his band performed one of his new music singles live. Tom and Raquel visited his hometown of St. Louis in December 2022, but not to the knowledge of Ariana. Tom reportedly wanted to bring Raquel around his friends and family, though some declined to spend time with them and thought that the situation was inappropriate. He then posted an apology to his Instagram page saying, "I want to first and foremost apologize to everyone I've hurt through this process. Most of all, I want to apologize to Ariana. I made mistakes, I was selfish, and made reckless decisions that hurt somebody I love. No one deserves to feel that pain so traumatically and publicly. I can only imagine how devastating this has been for Ariana and everyone around us. I feel really horrible about that. My biggest regret is I dishonored Ariana. I never meant to disappoint so many people, including our loving families and friends." Afterwards, there was the explosive Vanderpump Rules reunion, and it was just a big, huge yelling match. Now we have David Letterman. Late night show host David Letterman admitted to having an affair during a taping of Late Night. David had only been married to his wife for 6 months and together for over 20 years when he admitted to being intimate with women who worked with him on air, specifically his longtime assistant Stephanie Burkett. The affair came to light when Stephanie's boyfriend Joe Halderman, a producer at CBS, allegedly tried to extort David for $2 million in exchange for his silence. David got ahead of him though, setting up a sting with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which resulted in Joe's arrest. CBS issued a statement regarding the investigation and David's decision to speak out on the show, saying Mr. Letterman addressed the issue during the show's broadcast last night, and we believe his comments speak for themselves. Now to this day, David is still married to his wife. Next up is Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner first met on the set of the 2000 movie Pearl Harbor, but were in separate relationships at the time. Ben was engaged to Jennifer Lopez, and they were supposed to be married in 2003, but in 2004 they called off their engagement. Now Jennifer Garner was married to Scott Foley for 4 years, who she divorced in 2003. The pair then started a relationship and got married in 2005. They had 3 children and a perfect family until their nanny, Christine Azoyan, claimed that she and Ben had an affair. In 2015, sources told Page Six, amid reports of Ben's gambling and alleged cheating with other women, that the pair had drifted apart and had been in professional therapy for years. Now their split was announced a day after their 10th wedding anniversary, and they finalized their divorce in 2018, but remain on good terms. Now in a conversation with Vanity Fair, Jennifer had confirmed Ben's affair with the nanny. And lastly, we have Kristen Stewart. In 2012, photos of Kristen Stewart kissing Rupert Sanders, the director of her movie Snow White and the Huntsman, were released and caused a frenzy. Now at the time, she was famously in a relationship with her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson, while Rupert was married to his wife since 2002, model Liberty Ross. After the photos were released, both Kristen and Rupert released their own statements. Kristen said, "I'm deeply sorry for the hurt and embarrassment I've caused to those close to me and everyone this has affected. This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, the person I love and respect the most, Rob. I love him, I'm so sorry." Now they broke up and got back together multiple times, but they broke up for good in May 2013. This broke the hearts of Twilight fans everywhere, and I can't imagine how Rob felt having to work with her still after all of this happened. When you're a celebrity, all eyes are on you, especially your mistakes. So with that in mind, here's our list of the top 10 cheating scandals that destroyed celebrities' careers. Starting off, we have Tiger Woods. Now Tiger Woods was one of the best golfers in the world. His career was skyrocketing, but then it all came crashing down. Now Tiger became engaged to Ellen Nordegren, a Swedish former model, in November 2003 and married in 2004. They had 2 children together, but in 2009, cheating scandal after cheating scandal was exposed with Tiger. More than a dozen women stepped forward claiming to have had affairs with him. When all was said and done, Tiger admitted to sleeping with multiple women, though it all started with one, Rachel Urschel. It was reported that Tiger allegedly had a months-long affair with the New York City nightclub host. Now days and months following this report, more than a dozen women claimed in various media outlets to have had affairs with him. Now he lied about everything before finally confessing to cheating in a televised statement. Now Tiger confessed to sleeping with 109 120 women while he was married. Yeah, 120. Now, after 6 years of marriage, his wife Ellen divorced him, which makes a lot of sense. After the news broke, sponsors immediately cut ties with him, and he was out of tens of millions of dollars almost overnight. Now, he thought he could get away with it because he was Tiger Woods, but that all backfired as he was actually made an example of. Up next is Amy Robach and TJ Holmes. Amy Robach and TJ Holmes were co-hosts of Good Morning America 3, What You Need to Know, and they had worked together since TJ joined the show in the year 2020. Now, at the end of 2022, the Daily Mail published photos of the co-workers taken across several outings, from getting drinks at a New York City bar to loading up a car at a cottage upstate. Now, neither of the broadcasters immediately addressed the photos or revealed whether they had split from their respective spouses. Now, TJ had been married to his wife for 12 years, and Amy was married to her husband for 12 years as well. In January 2023, the couple decided to walk away from their positions as co-anchors after being caught in their affair scandal. A statement was released which read, "After several productive conversations with Amy Robach and TJ Holmes about different opinions, we all agree it's best for everyone that they move on from ABC News. We recognize their talent and commitment over the years and are thankful for their contributions." Now, they have continued their relationship today and have actually started their own podcast together. Now, after they spoke about their relationship publicly for the first time, Page Six broke the news that their exes were dating each other on December 5th, 2023. Sources said that the two had been dating for 6 months at that point after bonding over the traumatic experience of being cheated on. It turned into something else, and they're connected over their values. It's bigger than the affair now, one insider shared. They're not heartbroken and sad, everyone has moved on. Now, I guess this is a happy ending. I don't know though, losing your job over a relationship isn't a good thing at all. Moving on to Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan had a successful career when she was married to Dennis Quaid, but her girl next door image was completely ruined when rumors emerged about her cheating with her Proof of Life co-star Russell Crowe. Now, the tabloid frenzy affair was publicly perceived as the reason for her divorce from her husband of 9 years, Dennis Quaid, and led to a serious decline in her popularity. Now, Meg also denied that her fling with Crowe was the reason for the divorce, saying, "My marriage was breaking up long before it became a matter of public discussion." Years later, Meg blamed her own affair on Dennis, claiming that he was cheating on her throughout their entire marriage. She said, "Dennis was not faithful to me for a very long time, and that was very painful. I found out more about that after I was divorced." Now, regardless, Meg's career hit a wall. Her film Proof of Life bombed at the box office, and the Golden Globe nominated actor has had trouble getting back into the limelight. And now there's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger and his wife Maria Shriver had been married for 25 years when they announced that they were splitting up in 2011. Now, soon after the real reason for their split was revealed, Arnold had an affair with a woman who worked in their home, and she'd given birth to their son, Joseph Bena, 14 years earlier in 1997. Now, he kept that a secret for 14 years. What? Now, Arnold revealed the news to his wife after his time as governor of California came to a close. "After leaving the governor's office, I told my wife about this event, which occurred over a decade ago," he told the Los Angeles Times in 2011. "I understand and deserve the feelings of anger and disappointment among my friends and family. There are no excuses, and I take full responsibility for the hurt I have caused. I apologize to Maria, my children, and my family. I am truly sorry." Now, his son, who he kept a secret, Joseph, had a relationship with Arnold, and like his father, he is a bodybuilder. But now just imagine if all this came out when he was still a governor. Moving on to Ned Fulmer. Ned Fulmer was a member of the internet group called the Try Guys. Now, his main personality trait in the group was the "I love my wife" guy, but then in September 2022, he was exposed as a cheater. TikTokers posted photo evidence of what appeared to be Ned kissing one of his producers, Alex Herring. Now, a fan also posted on Instagram a photo with her and Ned, captioning it that she saw Ned and Alex together at a Harry Styles concert at the beginning of September. Now, rumors and proof were gathered, and later, near the end of September, Ned confirmed that he had cheated on his wife and publicly apologized. Due to this being a work-related incident and the Try Guys losing a lot of money due to the scandal, Ned was kicked out. The Try Guys Twitter posted a message saying Ned Fulmer is no longer working with the Try Guys. As a result of a thorough internal review, we do not not see a path forward together. We thank you for your support as we navigate this change. Now, it seems like Ned is back together with his wife now, but I don't think he'll be getting his career back anytime soon. Then there's Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was the 42nd president of the United States from 1993 to 2001, but in the 90s, Clinton was accused of being in a relationship with Monica Lewinsky, an intern at the White House, who was hired during Clinton's first term in 1995. Now, Clinton had been married to his wife Hillary since 1975, but he denied that he was having an affair. During a televised statement, the president denied having a sexual relationship with her, stating, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky." Afterwards, though, Monica confided in Linda Tripp, her co-worker, about the relationship and how it was true. It was then brought to light that Bill's and Monica's sexual relationship lasted between 1995 and 1997. Bill then finally admitted that he had a relationship with her, stating, "I did have a relationship with Miss Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact, it was wrong. It constituted a critical lapse in judgment and a personal failure on my part for which I am solely and completely responsible. I know that my public comments and my silence about this matter gave a false impression. I misled people, including even my wife. I deeply regret that." Now, this ultimately ruined his reputation and Monica's. Moving on to Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner first met on the set of the 2000 movie Pearl Harbor, but were in separate relationships at the time. Ben was engaged to Jennifer Lopez, and they were supposed to be married in 2003, but in 2004 they called off their engagement. Jennifer was married to Scott Foley for 4 years, who she divorced in 2003. Ben and Jen then started a relationship and got married in 2005 and had 3 children, and likely had a perfect family, until their nanny, Christine Ozozian, claimed that she and Ben had an affair. In 2015, sources told Page 6, amid reports of Ben's gambling and alleged cheating with other women, that the pair had drifted apart and had been in professional therapy for years. Now, their split was announced a day after their 10th wedding anniversary, and they finalized their divorce in 2018, but remain on good terms. In a conversation with Vanity Fair, Jennifer had confirmed Ben's affair with the nanny, as she said, "Let me just tell you something, we had been separated for months before I ever heard about the nanny. She had nothing to do with our decision to divorce. She was not a part of the equation." Now we have Kristen Stewart. In 2012, photos of Kristen Stewart kissing Rupert Sanders, the director of her movie Snow White and the Huntsman, were released, and they caused a frenzy. Now, at the time, she was famously in a relationship with her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson, while Rupert was married to his wife since 2002, model Liberty Ross. Now, after the photos were released, both Kristen and Rupert released their own statements. Kristen said, "I'm deeply sorry for the hurt and embarrassment I've caused to those close to me and everyone this has affected. This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, the person I love and respect the most, Rob. I love him, I'm sorry." But ultimately, she and Robert broke up in May of 2013. Now, Rupert's statement said, "I'm utterly distraught about the pain I've caused my family. My beautiful wife and heavenly children are all I have in this world. I love them with all my heart. I'm praying we can get through this together." But after this, his wife filed for divorce 6 months later. Next is Jesse James. Jesse James was caught cheating on his wife, Sandra Bullock. They got married in 2005, but when it was uncovered that Jesse had been cheating on Sandra for a long time with multiple women, he became, by his own admission, the most hated man in the world. Now, In Touch magazine revealed the intimate details of Jesse's affair with model Michelle Bombshell McGee in March of 2010. Later, 2 other women, Melissa Smith and photographer Bridget DeGuer, also claimed to have had romantic entanglements with Jesse during his marriage. Jesse said, "Yeah, I did cheat on my wife. Yeah, I stood up and took accountability for it and apologized, and that's the end of the story." Now, he eventually checked into rehab for a love addiction, and Sandra swiftly filed for divorce. Now, they were in the process of adopting a child together, but Sandra chose to continue the adoption process of her son Louis without James, and 7 years later, James said that he had no regrets. And finally, we have Jada Pinkett Smith. The actress Jada Pinkett Smith admitted on Red Table Talk that she had an entanglement with R&B singer August Alsina during her marriage to Will Smith, although they were separated at the time. Now, though the Smiths wouldn't call it a scandal, the rest of the world was shocked when August spoke out about a relationship he had with Jada Pinkett Smith during an interview in June 2020. He said, "I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life, and I truly and really deeply love and have a ton of love for her." Now, he went on to claim that Will knew about the relationship and even gave August and Jada his blessing. Now naturally, people were shocked as the Smiths are one of the longest lasting and famous Hollywood couples in recent history. Now first, the couple issued a quick statement denying the relationship, but Jada then announced on her Twitter that she was taking herself to the red table. In July 2020, the Smiths sat down at the red table and discussed their relationship. They spoke about a dark period in their marriage where they thought they were going to separate and never speak again. Now that's when Jada and August began their relationship, or what she originally called an entanglement. Will denied giving August permission, but did know that the two were seeing each other. However, their relationship came to an end once she and Will decided to try and work things out, which they did.
From Oscar winners to reality stars, singers to sports icons, the aftermath of cheating isn't pretty for anyone involved. But when it's a celebrity affair, things can get especially messy, which begs the question, is getting freaky worth getting fired? It must have been for Ned Fulmer. The Try Guys YouTube series began with BuzzFeed, and it starred Ned Fulmer alongside Keith Habertsberger, Eugene Lee Yang, and Zach Cornfield. But it grew an audience of millions on the publication's platform before the guys realized, hey, why aren't we making a dime for our boss's dollar? And they went independent with Try Guys, as they rightfully should. Together, creating entertaining content for their masses, each Try Guy kinda had their own shtick. And Ned's was that he branded himself as the ultimate family man. His wife Ariel Fulmer was his entire personality, and he was supposed to be the wholesome one. But then came September of 2022, a little over 10 years after the couple, who shared 2 children, tied the knot. The persona Ned built came tumbling down. News broke via a Reddit chain that showed pictures of Ned cheating on his wife Ariel with Alexandria Herring, a producer at their company. The news and aftermath were an absolute whirlwind, and it resulted in Ned being kicked to the curb post a thorough internal review the same day the news broke. According to a video released by the 3 remaining members of the Try Guys the following month, a unanimous decision had been made to oust Ned, who wouldn't make any appearances on any more pre-recorded material going forward, but Ariel would. The story of a hidden love child forces one man to step down. Next up is Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, around May of 2011, there were rumors beginning to arise that Arnold had an affair with his longtime housekeeper, Mildred Patricia Baena, who's even fathered an illegitimate child with her, named Joseph, who bears a striking resemblance to the action star. These rumors ended up becoming so intense, Arnold is forced to step away from Governor of California role lest he face angry voters. But naturally, he and his wife Maria Shriver denied everything like crazy at first, until his wife took a step back to reevaluate the situation. The fact he'd suddenly upped how much they paid the housekeeper, the accused love child really did look like him, the fact that Mildred would have conceived at the time Maria Shriver was away working, and so Maria Shriver separated and filed for divorce from Arnold. This spawned a new wave of rumors, which finally confirmed by Arnold himself in May of 2011. He finally states that Maria left him because he'd come clean about the love child in a therapy session, whose creation he described as one of his biggest mistakes in life. His unexpected admission to the newspaper include another not so insignificant detail, that he only acknowledged the existence of the child whom he supported financially from a distance to his wife Maria shortly after stepping down from office. So, a classic for Twilight fans out there was Kristen Stewart's affair. When British director Rupert Sanders was chosen to helm Universal Pictures' fairy tale live-action Snow White and the Huntsman for his feature film debut, it seemed like the start of a promising career. But just a few weeks after the 2012 film's lackluster debut, he and the Huntsman star, Kristen Stewart, really top off the movie's bad press when they're captured by paparazzi making out. So, Stewart had cheated on her Twilight co-star, Robert Pattinson, and Sanders was unfaithful to his wife of 10 years, Liberty Ross, with whom he had 2 kids. Both released public apologies. Kristen's is particularly desperate and brutal, and it doesn't help either of them. Ross and Sanders ended up divorcing, can you pause it there? And nothing substantial transpired between Stewart and her boss, who were both then dropped from the film's sequel casting. Her career takes a massive hit, and she loses several other roles and endorsements, and faces harsh criticism from the press and the public. Kristen also had to deal with the fallout of her relationship with Pattinson, who she described as her first love, which ended shortly after the affairs exposed. While Stewart's career has started to bounce back following the scandal, it took Sanders even longer to secure secure a second feature directorial gig with 2017's Ghost in the Shell, which was then crushed by critics. When your producer cheats, you divorce and fire him. Next up is Robert Mutt Lange. It's a saga worthy of a country song. Shania Twain and her ex-husband slash producer, Robert John Mutt Lange, were one of the music industry's biggest power couples. Their split later became one of its biggest scandals. So Shania Twain's 14-year marriage to the music producer Robert Mutt Lange came crumbling down when she found out her best friend, Marie Anne Thibault, and Lange had been having an affair since 2008. News she couldn't accept at first when Marie Anne's husband, Frederick Thibault, told her. But by 2010, Shania is divorcing her husband and firing him as her producer. It was like I was kicked off my own bus while it was moving full speed, the Grammy winner told Red Book magazine in April 2011. But there's a very strange, happy ending here. Shania may have lost a best friend and a husband, but she gained a new love in her ex-best friend's now ex-husband. To quote her, "We slowly became very, very good friends," Twain told Ellen in 2011. "We had many months of just trying to make sense of everything, holding each other up. It was a very difficult time emotionally for both of us. I would say he was probably stronger than I was. He was a tremendous support. We were a support to each other and really found something beautiful in the end and unexpected." The couple then married in January of 2011. Ime Udoka was suspended from the Boston Celtics after allegedly cheating on his partner of 13 years, Nia Long, with a member of staff. News broke in September 2023 that he had been temporarily axed from the team following reports that he had violated their code of conduct by engaging in improper, intimate, and consensual relations with a colleague. And this public announcement is how Nia Long found out. Can you imagine finding out from your husband's workplace that he cheated on you when they put him on public blast? That's traumatizing, especially considering the couple who first met back in 2010, can you pause it there, share a 13-year-old son named Kez, who also found out what dad did the same way. A few months after the news of Ime's alleged affair surfaced, a representative for Nia claimed to the Clamoring for Quotes press that the longtime couple were no longer together, but were remaining fully committed to co-parenting their son. Soon enough, the actor wound up discussing the devastating ordeal for herself in a candid chat with Hollywood Reporter, stating that "I think the most heartbreaking thing of all of this was seeing my son's face when the Boston Celtics organization decided to make a very private situation public," she said. "It was devastating, and it still is. He still has moments where it's not easy for him," she went on. "If you're in the business of protecting women, I'm sorry. No one from the Celtics organization has even called to see if I'm okay, to see if my children are okay," she added. "It's very disappointing." Next up is a reality show nightmare with a snappy nickname, Scandival. Does someone quitting a show over a scandal count? I'm going to count it for this list. If you weren't a Vanderpump Rules fan, to fill you in, the controversy was over Tom Sandoval and Ariana Madix, the two longtime stars of the Bravo reality show. The two had been dating for 9 years when, without warning in March, it's revealed they'd broken up. Yeah, it turns out Sandoval had been cheating on his girl of 9 years with her best friend and co-star Raquel Leviss. And not only was the affair confirmed, but much of the aftermath played out in public on Vanderpump Rules reunion special. Madix now says she has no interaction with Sandoval or Leviss. Meanwhile, Leviss had a complete breakdown over the consequences of her own actions and quit the show before checking herself into a mental health facility. All the while, the man in the middle, Sandoval, is still holding on and making statements about how he fought so hard for Leviss and was fully in love with her, but she shooed him away when the scandal broke. Should have shoot his ass off a cliff. A famous cheater to get the can was Scott Disick. Kourtney Kardashian's on again, off again relationship with Scott is a thing of pop culture legend at this point. They finally called it quits for what seems likely to be forever in 2015, but not before rumors of Scott cheating on multiple occasions surfaced as being the reason why. Scott and Kourtney were only on and off because the man could literally just not keep it in his pants. He was a brutal serial cheater. Kim and Khloe Kardashian once found texts to another woman on his phone. And after that, pictures of him partying on a boat with his ex hit the internet, prompting their last breakup. It's famously known in Keeping Up with Kardashian fanbase that Scott really didn't realize what he had in Kourtney until it was too late. And now he spends his time moaning and groaning over what he could have had with the mother of his children. Ultimately, in 2017, it leads to Scott being given the can by Kris Jenner from Keeping Up with the Kardashians for his unchanged way and exhausted role in the household. And while it never got him fired, Hugh Grant's affair demolished his career for several years, and it's so iconic I decided to slip it into this list. So, the British actor, who had just achieved playing the lead role in 4 Weddings and a Funeral, was meant to be in Hollywood to promote his latest film, 9 Months, when he decided, as a local paper said, to take a walk on the wild side. He cruises down LA's notorious Sunset Strip at night. It's here he meets Divine Brown, real name Estella Marie Thompson, a local working girl who he paid $60 to give her some bruised knees. Catch my drift. Grant and Divine are caught and arrested, not for the Adulterous Act, but for the fact the Adulterous Act was happening outside in a public space. Grant, the long-term partner of actress Liz Hurley, was quick to release a statement of regret to the press. But it was Divine Brown who the press really wanted. News of the World gets the scoop from her, paying her $100,000 for her story, which was a blow-by-blow account and a now famous sentence Grant told her. "I always wanted to sleep with a black woman, that's my fantasy." The tabloids went crazy with it. The revelations came days before Grant faced sentencing and became a media circus. The actor, who did not attend the court, was ordered to pay a fine of $1,000. Having violated a custodial sentence, Grant's career rehabilitation began with an interview on NBC's Primetime Tonight Show with host Jay Leno to apologize to the world. But the damage was done. The bust occurred 2 weeks before the release of 9 Months with Julianne Moore. Rotten Tomatoes gave it the approval rating of 23%. He co-starred then with girlfriend Elizabeth Hurley in Extreme Measures, and it flops. Mickey Blue Eyes flops as well. So it kicks off a 3-year-long hiatus, ending his relationship with Hurley as well. It wouldn't be until 1999 the hit Notting Hill gives Grant a comeback. Divine Brown, by the way, pleaded no contest to engaging in lewd conduct in a public place at her hearing, and having violated her probation for previous working girl charges, was given an 180-day prison sentence. As Brown did not have to serve her sentence for 4 months, she had time to travel to the UK to promote Fantasy Channel, an adult station launched on satellite the same year, and even do some modeling. Speaking to The Guardian at the time, Brown said she hoped to run into Hugh Grant while she was in the UK. Kevin Hunter was fired and divorced. 2 birds, 1 stone for Wendy Williams, who had her estranged husband employed on her show as a producer. The Wendy Williams show host claimed for the first time in her 2001 memoir, Wendy's Got the Heat, that her husband had cheated on her, prompting her to hire a private investigator to trail him. 16 years later, Hunter was accused of cheating on Williams again after being spotted out and about in New Jersey with massage therapist Sharina Hudson. Reports then surfaced that the TV producer and Hudson had been romantically involved for more than a decade, which he and Williams then deny. But then in March 2019, Hudson gives birth to a baby amidst widespread speculation that Hunter's the father. A month later, the TV personality is filing for divorce from Hunter after more than 21 years of marriage. And then another week later, Hunter's fired from his job on her daytime talk show. To quote, Kevin Hunter is no longer an executive producer on Wendy Williams' show. Debmar Mercury wishes him well in his future endeavors. And to end things off, it's the beloved on-air affair. I've never seen an affair be so well loved, but it wasn't a so good an American morning when the Daily Mail splattered 64 images of Good Morning America co-hosts Amy Robach and TJ Holmes feeling each other up in November of 2022. Given that both parties, were publicly known to be married at the time, the Amy Robach and TJ Holmes scandal began at the end of 2022, but as announced recently by the pair on their Amy and TJ podcast, they were ready to go public with their romance and respective in-process divorces at the time of those photos being taken, which they both insist was in motion before being caught. On December 5th, 2022, the duo were temporarily removed, can you pause it there, from the daytime television program as gossip about them reached a fever pitch. And even though Robach 50 and Holmes 46 had drafted respective statements to explain their sides of the story, they refrained from sharing them in order to not exasperate the issue. Maybe it would have been better if we'd released the statements, admitted Robach, but we were just trying to keep our jobs. This was 2 consenting adults who were each separated, a source close to them claimed. They were both broken up with their spouses in August within weeks of each other. But it didn't matter if they had broken up or not, because in early 2023, ABC President Kim Goodwin announced that the pair was leaving GMA. Not so amicably. They got the can.
From 10, Tom Sandoval. Vanderpump Rules stars Tom Sandoval made headlines when accusations that he cheated on his longtime girlfriend, Ariana Madison, Maddox with their co-star Raquel Levy, well, news of the Tom Tom restaurant co-owner's affair with Levy's broke on March 3rd. Sources told People that the affair had been going on for 6 months, leaving Maddox blindsided and devastated by the revelation. In a clip from season 10's finale of Vanderpump Rules, Maddox explained to friends Katie Maloney and Shani Shea how she found out about her boyfriend of 9 years, Sandoval, cheating on her with their co-star, while also revealing that the affair had been going on for several months rather than 6. Sandoval and Lee have respectively issued statements acknowledging the allegations within the week the cheating news broke. Both have opened up on the months-long affair and have apologized since. Number 9, Ariana Grande. The pop star is set to star in a film adaptation of the Broadway hit Wicked, following the story of the Wicked Witch before the events of The Wizard of Oz. Ariana Grande plays Glinda the Good, and Ethan Slater is Buck, the main love interest of the Wicked Witch. It's ironic that Ariana is the Good Witch, though, as she appears to have stolen another woman's man. Ethan was married to a woman named Lily J since 2018, and they actually welcomed their first child in 2022. Apparently, Ariana and Ethan fell in love on set of Wicked and started dating behind the scenes. However, an on-set insider shared that information with Slater's wife, who was, furious. While the couple have agreed to raise their child as co-parents, Ethan officially filed for a divorce in July of this year and is still with Ariana so far as we know. Number 8, Natalie Portman. After 11 years of marriage, it was recently announced that Thor: Love and Thunder star Natalie Portman and her husband, Benjamin Millipede, will be separating following a very public and messy affair on Ben's part. Ben, who I assume is named after a kid's cartoon, was spotted with a 25-year-old climate activist. While Portman was mad, she initially tried to work things out with Ben in an attempt to save their marriage, but the affair put a massive strain on the relationship. The couple had met on the set of the 2009 drama Black Swan, with Ben acting as a scriptwriter for the project. While the affair has shaken their relationship, when asked about the issues by US Weekly, he said that he shares her pain and that he is still working on a new script for her. So they still work together professionally, but emotionally, they've checked out. Number 7, MGK. When the couple, who announced their engagement last January, sparked rumors of a split after 3 years together, Megan posted a series of pictures on Instagram with a pointed caption from Beyonce's Lemonade album, which, if you didn't know, is all about infidelity. On top of this, she deleted every trace of MGK from her Instagram page and unfollowed him. In fact, she raised eyebrows by unfollowing everyone except for Harry Styles, Timothée Chalamet, and notably MGK's long-standing nemesis, Eminem. It wasn't surprising that Megan's usual behavior prompted people to speculate that herself and MGK might have called it quits after he was found cheating. Megan topped off the weekend's events by proceeding to deactivate her entire Instagram account. By February 13th, a source informed People that the two had not called things off, but claimed that Megan had apparently gone as far as removing her engagement ring, which, FYI, is specifically designed to cause pain when she does that. Apparently the band has little spikes on it that jam into her finger if she pulls it off. That's fun. The final reports claimed that they had gotten into a spat, but that it got blown out of proportion. Megan publicly defended MGK's guitarist Sophie Lloyd online, who was the alleged mistress in the situation, but there seems to be no proof that anything ever took place, and the couple are currently working through their issues, and things seem to have turned around for the better. Number 6, Steve Harvey. Steve was trending on Twitter for quite a while thanks to a couple of situations, one that actually happened and one that never happened. He seemingly fired his social media manager over a negative tweet regarding comedians and is now having to hear rumors about his wife Marjorie Bridges cheating on him. Harvey, who is 66, shared a video suggesting that he fired his social media manager after they posted a tweet urging followers to name a comedian that does not make them laugh. Steve posted a video explaining the situation and claimed that wasn't his style and it wasn't going to happen again. The morning following that post, rumors started circulating that his wife Marjorie is seeking a divorce. According to the internet, she was caught having an affair with the chief and bodyguard. But fun fact, that didn't happen, and the internet just really wanted Steve to have been cheated on for some reason when he is one of the best people on the planet who constantly shares his past with people to inspire and give hope. So, Steve, if you're somehow watching this, first of all, why? Second of all, you are a legend and 100% no cheating in your life. So, sorry if you hoped for more. Number 5, P. Diddy. The rap star Young Miami confirmed that she and Mr. Sean Combs, P. Diddy, are no longer together. The couple went public with their relationship in June of last year, but let everybody know that it wasn't exclusive. They said that at one point they were together every day of the week and basically live together, letting the internet call it whatever they wanted. To double down on the claim, anytime that they've been asked if they're official, they must list the people they've been with outside of each other, like they're all alibis in a court case or something. This past year, the world was shocked when Sean welcomed his 7th child into the world with a woman named Dana Tran. While the pair had decided to keep things private, apparently this wasn't part of the deal. Miami has made it very clear that Sean is no longer a man in her life in any way, shape, or form. So while Sean is stuck raising another baby and apparently dealing with some pretty harsh rumors right now, Miami will be sipping poolside, surrounded by her lovers. I feel bad for whoever has to clean that pool. Number 4, Avril Lavigne. This year's shocking reports hit the internet claiming Avril Lavigne had called off her engagement to Mod's son. TMZ's insiders claim that things had been on and off for a while as the couple tried to mend their romance, but then when they got in touch with the Karma Singers team, a rep declared the last thing he heard was the couple had been engaged, and that was only 3 days prior, so anything else would be news to him. Avril had been spotted out and about with a man named Tyga, who she claims is just a friend, but the internet likes to gossip, so the headlines were Avril cheats on Mod's son. A week after his tour started and the news broke, he posted a series of photos on his Instagram making references to a broken heart and knowing there is a plan for everyone. He thanked his fans and then went dark. Since then, the two have been drenched in rumors, but the only thing that has been confirmed is they now reside in Splitsville. Number 3, Jesse Rutherford. When the news first broke of Billie Eilish and Jesse getting together, the internet drowned them in negative comments, calling to question why she was dating someone 10 years older than herself. To poke fun at this, the couple dressed as a baby and an elderly man on their first Halloween together, the type of thing that would become the norm in their lives. The couple were always spotted wearing matching clothes or outlandish outfits, even making their red carpet debut while wearing matching Gucci pajamas at the 11th annual LACMA Art and Film Gala. The couple were also known for their very public displays of affection. The PDA and inside jokes were the foundations of this relationship, and they seemed happy together until this past May, when the news broke the pair would be splitting up. Claiming it to be a mutual decision, it was later speculated that the split was due to Jesse getting busy behind Billie's back. Whether that spark just fizzled out or something darker has taken place, Jesse and Billie will be fine, and they'll find new people soon. So, look at that. Just look at these two side by side. They are goth king and queen. This man's eye tattoo is staring at me. Number 2, Lily Reinhart. Cole Sprouse and Lily met on the set of Riverdale in 2016 while filming the pilot episode for the series that finally ended after being the most confusing series of all time. I had to stop after season 3 because everyone started playing D&D and Stranger Things came out, so there you go. Anyway, they fell in love playing Jughead and Betty, having a relationship that lasted like 7 years, but in 2020, started to go downhill. They were plagued by cheating rumors, things had apparently become heavy behind the scenes according to Cole. Towards the end of that year, they confirmed the split online. However, this year, Cole spoke out about the breakup while having a cancer stick in the middle of an interview, claiming that he didn't want to get too deep into the topic, but that it was a mutual decision. Lily began receiving violent and threatening messages following the interview as well as the end of the show. The past few weeks, rumors have been arising once more, and fans are becoming online detectives again to uncover the truth. And at number 1, Sebastian Leggett. This year, Becky G hit the 2023 iHeartRadio Awards red carpet without her engagement ring on. She attended the ceremony, at which she took home the award for Best Latin Pop Song of the Year for her and Karol G's collaboration Mammy. On Tuesday, March 27th, the same day her fiancé, Sebastian Leggett, seemingly confessed that he cheated on his girlfriend of 6 years on Instagram. He posted that over the previous few weeks, during a moment he deeply regretted, a 10-minute lap in judgment resulted in an extortion plot. The 30-year-old soccer player shared the information on his Instagram after a fan claimed to have proof that he was unfaithful to Becky G. The fan was claiming that Seb had a tryst with a woman while out at a club in Madrid last year. They allegedly had receipts of the affair, including videos, audio, text, and so much more. The relationship seems to have crumbled, with the latest being Becky is single and Sebastian is trying to figure out incognito mode on his phone.